Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you.
You make me move. Srot. You make me move. Halo adik-adik, selamat sore semuanya. Wah, kita sudah pick agent nih. Pas sekali aku live streaming, ya nggak adik-adik? Loh, kok nggak buka? Dah, ya kan? Emang pas banget gak tuh ya? Selamat sore warga Instagram. Alter Ego sudah mulai, langsung kita nobar ke YouTube. Swipe up sambil nunggu debut Babang Srot nanti subuh. Anjing udah pada sigap sekarang tangannya, gila. Masuk lagi taya-tayanya babi. Gokil. Langsung di like adik-adik.
See if they can get started very nicely. But for Alter Ego as well, what could be argued as the weaker side on the map of Haven, very spread on these defenses at the moment, playing out toward that default as Myth attempting some information over at the garage. This is where they do have to then contest against Kush. Remember, I mentioned that Cypher. He's really capable of locking down a site in and of itself. He does have the cavalry around him for the time being.
Let's see ya, apakah Aya akan membantai nih? Dia mau dipraktur, friend.
Focus towards beat. We still do have Adrian King keeping an eye. Throw down that fault line into sewers if he needs. Just Del B sitting back, watching patiently, so no real control.
Gua bikin 5 menit sekali granit chatnya anjing.
Towards that A position, and they do manage to send Del B packing.
And Noxy sent the Trailblazer down mid as well, so that's where the
naik bot mana nih, naik bot oi. Oh udah mantap. Sorry Bang, naik bot.
Fight over here at the moment. Straight in is Kadum trying to push the
Aduh itu Noxy.
Hasn't seen anyone just yet. This is where the action starts to happen. Kadum alone feels it's all of Myth currently finding absolutely everything as it is just down to Kush. A 1 versus 5, it would be an immaculate ace if he could somehow bring this one back. 2 players tucked in toward the cover. Kadum on the side of Hell, just outside of it. He finds the first one, but not the second. Alone feels for 3, and the pistol round to Myth.
Crazy stuff from Alone feels there. You know, just even in that position, Alone could, Kush, there's just so much for him to overwhelm. 2 in the cubby. Massive play, aggressive, concise, and the utility did really well. There was a forward member from Alter Ego there that just didn't quite get spotted early on, but they took him out very quickly and settled into those post-plant nicely. Alone feels looking awesome, and an excellent start here for Made in Thailand.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want, right? If you are Made in Thailand, you want to make sure you're getting off to the back of this game on the right foot. It's the elimination series. Shake out those nerves, and a pistol round is certainly going to assist you in that way, but we're not seeing any overextension, right? We're not seeing anything.
Ngumpulin mood buat lab nonton.
What we are seeing is everybody holding each other's hands, waltzing down C long, and they might actually be able to overwhelm a couple of these Myth members.
Alter Ego, yeah.
Realizing that now the time is settled, Myth can have a trap set for them. Back of these boxes. This is for AE, seeing just what they can do with these pistols really, and Conga Red, Wanna-Fly, making it pretty difficult for them.
Nice.
Anjir.
I was going to say they did really well to actually spot out the top of the boxes there as they did work their way down to
Paris, thank you 4 bulannya ya.
They found it, but that's all they got in the round. It's ultimately
nggak terlalu gimana banget.
Strong.
Ini loh, bukan.
Cuman Thailand sih memang Indo Slayer dia biasanya.
Because as we know, Haven, right, a little bit more attackers sided in the current meta, the way it's played, especially with these the double up of the Neon rather. It is all going to be around to see how Alter Ego can spread themselves through the map and take whatever control they need.
So this is a situation where Alter Ego did manage to find the round against Bleed. It was their first gun round against the bonus. It didn't drop like we saw a lot in that order series. So for Alter Ego, they did then lose the first gun round where it was guns versus guns. Right? So they need to be careful that if they do win this one, they've got the full contest against Myth going forward. In this one, lots of Spectres, the 1 Vandal there for Wanna-Fly, control for Myth as well. And again, we're getting this separation from the Alter Ego forces really
berarti.
spreading down the map. We do see a little bit of a push through Garage, but look at Noxy at the moment. He's already down the bottom of mid. Little does he know, there's a lot of members here and he's taken down.
Yeah, a little bit too far there. He did get the guiding light out to get some information, but Adrian King at least will be afforded a later trade in the position. Kush has also been sent away. They did spot out his cam nice and early through the garage.
Allahu Akbar.
10.000 dari ketoprak geprek. Pesan Woyendut.
Wendut, makasih ketoprak geprek 10.000-nya.
Too hard, but look at this. Two frags taken out by Kadum, and that is going
Pelan
to be
amat tuh transfer.
relinquished of control by Alter Ego, but with the player advantage.
Mendingan di reset Delby.
Issue in for a bit of a retake unless we do see
Si
Beta
siapa namanya?
down these dark covers.
Beta Alone Pills lagi bagus nih anjir. Nanti kalau lo ngeliat secretnya Gia, yang tim bawa bapak, aduh, kasihan anjing jadi tim slebel. Iya jadi tim slebel. Dia boleh-boleh anjing bener-bener dibantai. Tambahin bio IG Valorant streamer enggak gitu kontol. Protokol apa Blast protokol Ipan makasih 4 bulannya. Berarti Blitz sih lagi gila banget ya. Semoga Boom bisa ngalahin. Apa? Iya cepet, orang tadi ngebantai-bantai 2-0 kayak cepet.
Origin udah bisa dibuka nih.
Oh iya?
Salah tahu sih gue pakai.
Itu line apa anjir?
And this time again, it's going to be a similar setup to what we saw in the pistol. Kush leaving his utility down and just sitting watching towards that garage position a little bit further.
Semoga ya 2-0
again, it's a heavy A lane.
Update apaan Gi? Maksud Giga.
We do have Delby still sitting around the A side
Oh
again.
iya
I
emang.
mentioned these shifts from Alter Ego. They are very loving, very quick in rotating around the map to make sure they've got forces there to contest with Myth nice and early.
Kalau kita subscribe mah aman gratis.
Ambitious play from Noxy.
Iya.
Wih, Noxy mantap. Aduh, kenapa sih di-pick lagi? Kamu bukan Jing.
We still gonna see more battles be fought around the map. Garage is still a hotly contested area at the moment. Kush going back in. Will he be expecting
Debut Babang Srot jam 3 subuh. 12 jam lagi.
And another one for Alter Ego, certainly setting themselves up to equalize here for the 2-2.
Great trades, great repositioning from the Indonesian side, looking fantastic here. It's just onto the remaining 2 members rather from Made in Thailand. A little bit split, creeping up mid, also with that spike in towards C Garage. Beta jumping up into the window. It looks like they are pretty keen to try and
kan gitu, kalau udah dapat 1 frag dia nge-pick lagi.
Will be taken. And it's going to be the paranoia out onto that site now, but again they're still so split. Alone Phil still watching, still waiting. Where are they going to be going for it in here? CT
lap jam berapa Mas? Jam 4.
taken down with the dark cover. There's the pick. Alone Phil gets another. It's going to be a solo play though. They're still so split. There's still no time. Exactly right. Komodo Kush. He could end it all here, but no. He manages to just slip through the cracks. Kush going to rotate all the way around into A-Link.
That's actually a massive from Alone Phil's. If Beta brought the spike in towards the C site, he would have had to contend with the traps that Kush had laid there. But now, a 2 versus 4 situation. Maybe Caster cursed it when I said it a little bit earlier. Alone Phil's Beta. See if they can lock this one down. Beta not looking over towards the A-Link. Kush has done well to rotate around the other side, but he's reading Alone Phil's like a boss. 3 in the round, a recovery for AE.
That is your head-to-head matchup in Kush. Once more, again, there is a reason why there is such a focus on this man. They completely avoided him for so long. They know that C is his territory, and they spent so much time clearing out the B and the A site to manage to even get towards that position. And still, they were fearful. They just slipped through, but a big brain rotation secures the 3K, the 1v2 clutch, going the way of the man with the cam.
Oh, well. A bit of back and forth in that round, that is for certain, but well pieced out by a couple of individuals in that round. At the end of the day, you're going to remember Kush for finding that round, making it a little bit better for AE on this defensive side as well. We're getting into the territory of ultimates now. He's picked up that neural theft alongside Delby. The electric fingers there are the overdrive if they potentially want to. Not really around for that, but look at this aggression down the sewers at the moment. Beta with a stinger of all weapons to start things off, and it's just absolutely chaotic around the lobby at the moment. Christmas lights in the kill feed, looking for more ultimates around everywhere, but no entry just yet in toward the A site. Wanna fly.
Wih, nice Adrian anjir.
So does Beta, and now it's just on to Alone Phil. The neural theft is going to reveal him as well. Kush, Noxy looking to close down the round, and they're going to swing together. Noxy for the closure.
Noxy gets it done. So much utilized in the early stages of that round. A complete and utter contest for a main. Long sewers all taken. I think that was two rolling, no, just the one rolling thunder rather, but also a Hunter's Fury as well. Just everything being sent out to contest for this space.
Like-nya stuck di 30, bah.
Alter Ego, they are starting very nicely here and do appear to have some decent responses at least to Myth's aggression. And they are going to be taking the lead here early on Haven 3-2 again for everyone at home. A little bit more of an attacker's-sided map, but it has been very close down to the
ada yang nanyain gini sih, friend.
As we can see now, Alter Ego,
besok AE ya jam berapa? Oh iya. Gak ada orangnya sampai sekarang.
You know, two utilized in the last round for Myth. You don't always have them. You can't always rely upon them.
Siapa lagi itu yang mau jadi pro player?
But for Alter Ego, picking things up here.
Nico.
Four ultimates definitely going to be an assist in towards.
Besok AE Ben, iya. Wah nonton gak ada orangnya sekarang.
Again going to be established for Myth here. No
Albi.
from Albi. Happy enough to just play Guardian there for now. And again, we're really starting to see AE.
Tapi kayaknya tadi lab siang deh jualnya nggak sih?
Play on the back of what information
apa pagi ya? Gue lupa dah.
Figure out what Myth's game plan is, get that early rotation if they possibly can, and then it's just anyone's game from there.
Bro, ini baca komennya gimana sih, bro? Bentar, bro.
Definitely that passive route so far. They were punished. Few rounds to go.
Ini baru jumlah, bro.
Having Noxy try and take further control, but once more
ntar jadi dashboard tuh gimana, bro? Lu kan buka channel sendiri, men.
Bingung sih, bro.
Sendiri kayak dashboard
Gak ada, bro.
Gak ada, berarti buka ini dong, bener gue dong. Berarti buka ini.
Miftah, thank you 3 bulannya sore. Rekoy, bacot Iqbal, thank you 3 bulannya Iqbal ya.
Sendiri bro ya.
Nah, itu gitu betul. Nah, betul.
Kayak begini bro.
Emang
saya ada info baru bro.
Lebih usaha sedikit berarti bro ya gawe.
Dia nyari pop-up window tuh dari ini ke pop-up S.
Iya bro, makanya bro, siapa tahu sayang sepi kan. Ternyata memang begitu ya bro.
Bunuh. Mampus.
Berkas bro, jangan lupa bro, lumayan.
Oh iya bro.
Streaming bro ya.
Bro,
ini lagi membiasakan jam tidur sehat bro. Bangun siang.
Pagi sehat.
Lah, sebelumnya kan bangun maghrib tuh, lebih tai tuh.
And everyone needs a little bit of a settle down here. Myth calling the audible, calling for the timeout.
So much utility expended again, just the utility they tried to send in here. That they knew exactly what was, but that's the thing about every single time. Cypher has been around of the game and tested and turned until we started to see some alternatives. We got the kill in, we got the chamber in, but Kush keeping that consistency, he must have everything in his mind, knowing where to send it all, and the way he manages to play around that C-site and garage is just immaculate.
And just the layering of utility again from Alter Ego there, right? You got the information off the opening pick. You had the Trailblazer early on to try and see what
halo mbul, halo bos, bos. Like dulu, like.
As soon as they found out what Myth were looking to do, not only was it that orbital strike, but they dropped down to buy a couple of seconds of time. The Sky Smoke with the Incendiary technically meant that Myth couldn't push in even if they wanted to.
Ada Paris EE sih bro. Mau diajak main game lain bro.
In a new round with the timeout expiring, it's going to be the little half fight to come through for Myth.
PISITI ya?
Iya.
Kenapa?
Lagi AE kalau misalnya ini sesuai jadwal mah gue bisa nemenin lupa ada bayar.
Enggak, ini nomor AE boleh enggak gitu kan?
Nah itu. Coba deh.
Oh iya, coba tanya bro. Santai banget sih bro.
AE ini bos gitu ya.
Ini perwakilan Indonesia di Asia Pasifik gitu tuh.
Oh iya bener bro. Oh, gimana kita lihat dulu bro.
10.000 dari aku. Pesan, Ben selamat kamu masuk channel Udil Surmewel. Resmi masuk circle Valorant.
Alhamdulillah, gue jadi resmi streamer Valorant. Makasih 10.000-nya adik-adik. Woi.
Nggak apa-apa ya kalau nomor
Apa?
nomor Valo.
Gak apa-apa, gue udah resmi jadi streamer Valorant ini.
Lu kabarin orang untuk mas streaming enggak?
Goblok, apa sih?
Kabarin si mas
Nggak,
streaming.
kalau gue deh.
Oh aman harusnya mah dah. Banyak kok bet yang nobar.
Itu boleh enggak gitu.
Soalnya kayaknya konsepnya ini si Valorant udah watch party. Kayak mana-mana.
Sama konsepnya paling kalaupun lu di notice minta ini doang. Apa? analitik
even
udah.
using from the shadows to get in there nice and
Oke.
early, a rolling
Impression
Iya,
thunder.
paling-
dan lain-lain. Kan lumayan nambahin mereka itu.
But you just look at the execution.
Dan kalau misalnya dimintain gitu juga paling itu mah kayak buat report aja gitu. Kayak di Indonesia. Bla 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 bla. Gak ada masalah.
Impressionnya bla bla bla. Streamernya berapa itu buat kayak portofolio mereka.
Ya cuman kalau pure di sini sih gak pada nge-like nih parah. Jadi gak FVP gua tau.
Gimana?
Gak di like YouTube gua jadi gak FVP cu.
Udah anjing udah 150 itu.
Ah. Biasanya 10.000.
Kontol. Lu siapa Winda Basudara?
Orang gua disebut streamer besar mulu emang babi. Pada
nyampe.
Nap live.
Nap live gak nyampe deh kayaknya.
Iya 7 ya paling 8.
Pernah gak nyampe. Oh pernah, waktu joget-joget.
Sambel guys.
Ogah rewel. Kemarin lucu lagi ya tuh anjing.
2000 like sih Iki bakal sebulan nonstop ya.
Parah.
Apa di rumah di YouTube 10 kali 12 jam suruh reset men.
Nahu thank you udah jadi member.
Notif video gimana tuh aman tak?
Notif alhamdulillah nggak ada juga kemarin.
Oh nggak ada juga. Ya udahlah di YouTube dulu berarti kan.
Kalau gue nyarinya bener-bener harus itu sih tuh. Live terus scroll ke bawah e-sport.
Tapi bisa nge-reminder yang
Iya ya, bisa di reminder ya.
jadi memang harus
Harus iya yang lama ya.
tiap mulai nanti kita Discord biasalah everyone bro. Biasalah.
Iya. Nice banget anjing, jangan dicolok lagi ayo. U2 please.
Jadi kita main GTA nih.
Kontol. Ngentot Bas Liker. Makasih 10.000-nya someone. Babi. Udah. Memek someone.
Banyak kita punya pasukan
Aduh anjing kuping gua babi.
Udah
Lu baru keluar film lu, gua tahu Bas Liker babi.
Kan gua belum tahu settingnya juga.
It's going to be a 5-on-5 retake, the El Clasico on a map like Haven. Sometimes it's A, sometimes
kita
it's
masuk
C.
kota
But how is it going to go in this occurrence? Look at the lean that
Tapi
they've
gak ada
got right now,
peluang,
keeping a firm focus on that. Only the one member, Wanna-Fly, he's very far forward, but he did have that rendezvous. A quick snap of the fingers will get him back. And now Adrian King wants to start to send some utility down there. It is absolutely everything. The relay bolt is there, but it's still going to be this awkward contest. Look now at Kadoom moving back into the garage. He might find the time as Congored gets another, and there is Kadoom inside the garage. But Del B tries to respond.
Dapat, let's go.
So it is. It's Axlovia, and he also loves the defusal and around for AE.
The body blocking.
Pro sniper back.
It was immaculate.
doang nih.
But it just falls by the wayside, doesn't it? Alter Ego in the sky smoke, setting everything
Enggak perlu
with
banget, iya.
Putus
the
baru
flash.
sampai lu.
Obviously, you think that he's going to push the cover, you think he's going to be able to find a kill, but no, the Rolling Thunder tagging up teammates.
ini tanda-tanda
Conquer Red
ini
trying to
sih.
do what he possibly could,
apa tuh ya?
but in the end, the chaos of confusion. I think is the
cacar
words
monyet
used
di
in that
ini ya,
round.
di
Everybody
Jawa Tengah ya.
distracted a
Lu
little
nggak
bit
percaya kan
with the
kemarin yang pas
objective, and that
gua
was
bilang?
what Alter Ego were very
Bacot.
focused on.
Bacot
Cacar
aja.
monyet muncul
They've
di Indo
swindled this
satu
half,
aja.
haven't they? 7-2.
Siapa
There's
Ose?
that flash
Jadi
down mid that I
dijelasin
mentioned
lagi
earlier.
Jawa Tengahnya mana, Jawa Tengahnya mepet lagi Tasik.
Find a little bit of control, and that's
Lah,
exactly again
Tasik Jawa
what
Barat,
AE
jing.
are doing. They've got full
Oh
lobby
Jawa Barat
precedence.
masih
Lucky sevens for Alter Ego right now.
Jauh,
7-7-7. And a couple more in the round.
Lancap udah masuk.
Scoreboard as well. Every single member doing what they need to close this.
Yo, Hapet
Push
baru
once
subrek,
again has had
entot.
his camera destroyed, but
Tawan lu.
so trying to keep them at bay too. They've got this garden control here made in Thailand, but they've been kept
Makasih
back.
bro Yo Hapet ya udah subrek.
Axe Lovia is. He doesn't have the best weaponry. I mean, look, Alter Ego's economy has been kept quite honest, but they've got to keep their focus onto Del B again. He has been holding this line, but he's going to be punished. Del B can't do it. Conqueror alone feels they get the
Berantem
job
asik
done.
tuh.
Now that spike is going to be
Berantem
barreling
asik
its
sih,
way, but
anjing,
look how
Tapi yang asik sih ini Gi apa Injustice
Can
anjing.
they hold it? Can they swing it? Not
Cok
quite.
masuk kota nggak bet?
Does get a skipping and jumping. Adrian King is now. It's going to be left on an Oxy in this position. There's one.
Yang berharga bukan bas subreknya tapi bas lightnya. Hah, lu ya bang?
But Kush
Udah
again,
sampai jam
the
6
man,
gua
the
ada
myth,
gua
the
lagi
magician. He can.
Aku padamu eteho.com anjing. Ternyata si Om Yo babi. Sakit kuping gua anjing. Cakep banget turun anjing rapi.
Nonton nggak sih lu kemarin di video gua?
Axlove, you're tucked in the corner to try and get a trade, maybe the first kill in the round.
Awal akhir.
Oh my, the rest of the team, Noxy push, ever so handsome to be able to close that one down. And it's another one over towards Alter Ego, and remember the timeout has been expired from Myth, 8-2 at the
Boom
moment.
masih lolos gak? Masih di upper. Kemarin kan menang lawan Onyx.
Alter Ego, so I guess for Myth they might be happy that this is
Yeah. But it's another 2-on-4. I guess that's another thing that we've been seeing through a lot of these series, right? Where teams will potentially make an overstep or, you know, get a little bit thrown off. Post-plant settling in. That's where Bleed, I suppose, so far in the course of this competition have set themselves above, right? They've got lengthy.
Ini yang menang ini lawan Onyx besok, friend. Pak Srot kapan main? Setengah 4 subuh. Jam 3 deng. 3 subuh.
And you know the rest, I guess, of some of these teams
Ada
in the
semua aman ini.
competition have been struggling in these post-plant positions, and Myth is a
Restart.
perfect example there.
Kayaknya
Ultra
maghrib
had
deh.
no business winning out
iya,
that round,
restart.
but you know I've got to admit, man, the consistency once again lining up those kills on the opposing side. Everyone's got it all going.
Kadang kalau lagi kesel sama Nunggu di kota di restart gitu.
LB has done his job every single round, holding on to A long. It's just immaculate Valorant being played by the Indonesian side.
And you got to remember as well, this is Haven.
Paling Nunggu kalau udah di event gini live YouTube dulu ya kan. Pengumuman.
Alter Ego are not here to party. They are here to focus up and continue a lower bracket run to go back.
Ya, Nunggu udah live guys ya.
We might
Coba
be
cek
in
di
the
YouTube
lower
ya.
bracket right now, but we are an Indonesian powerhouse. We are here to contest with the region's best.
The after party always
Dengan
feels
yang
better when you get the dub.
Di
Right? So
sana,
there's that orbital
di sana
strike
suka ini,
moving in
bro.
towards sewers. Alone feels will be tagged. And
Oh.
I'm sure he was heard from that
60
B-link
FPS.
or A-link position
Oh,
rather as
gitu.
well. So they do get the dark cover in
Berarti gua
towards
aman
Heaven.
ya
They are
lihat lu.
still giving this real estate away.
30.
Alter Ego, there
Oh,
is
itu
a pull in the
30.
back. But they're not going to have much time to sun themselves up. Rotation starts to
Gokil.
come through. Push is still focusing.
High end kali bang.
Now as they get into Heaven, we do have to be careful and watch what this is going to be looking like, because it's going to be a very, very, very quick return. And the Rolling Thunder comes out. It's time.
Another 5 versus 5, and everybody's
Nice flash.
think of this one, but Noxy doesn't know who to shoot. Now he does, because he's found 2. Alone feels at least in for 1 on the trade, and a big reveal onto Delby. But they tap onto what the defuse. It's not even a tap here.
Jangan di-fake, terus.
It's halfway there from
Oh,
Noxy.
di sokdar lagi kasihan. Mantap. Dadah EZ 2-0.
Yeah. He has the consolation of 1 frag, but the round it goes to Alter Ego once more.
Once again, made in Thailand, you know, a little bit confused in where their position is sitting. You've got Wannafly making that flank, but the spike, it's planted the opposing side. The
Terima
rest
kasih
of
Om Yo
your
udah
team's
jadi
gone,
bawa
bud.
bunta.
What are you gonna be doing?
Membership
I love that
anjing.
utility usage, the Rolling Thunder, the
Entar membership gua hapus dulu kapan ya? Aduh, bulan apa ya dihapusnya ya?
everything being done at the
Biar
right
murah
time.
membership
Even the
giftingnya,
guiding lights
anjir.
to completely blind the enemy
Ntar ya
members.
deh,
It's
akhir
just,
bulan
again,
deh.
Absolute perfection from AE. Everyone on the same plate.
And this is the one thing that I keep giving credit to AE for, right? The layering of utility, the calculations that they're able to go in with, and just the sheer impact that Noxy
Lihat
is
siapa
having
raja
right
lower,
now as
Ayah
well,
atau
right on
Onyx.
the Sky. The info early on in the
Iya.
rounds, the retakes are looking
Bisa
absolutely
jadi Onyx nanti
from
dikalahin AE
Alter
kan?
Ego.
Bisa
Myth,
jadi.
Yeah, they've shown that they can get into these sites with the post
Akhir bulan iya.
pretty much 0% at the moment, and now we have something different. It's a B-side pop.
And one of those, haven't seen one of them in this entirety of the map. Kadoom does manage to hold down. They need this one desperately. Round number 12, last of the half.
Lihat cek corner nih, biasaan. Biasaan.
He will. Delby has been able to respond. That spike does get planted.
Kebiasaan
2
player
on 4.
Indonesia.
They need to hold this one. You cannot be having this response again. Wannafly, perfect position. And he does punish Kush, so this one should be done.
Ya, keras dah ini mah. Ya.
Secured. But Adrian King, will he have a sand for it? Not quite. Ooh, the paranoia does come out, keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but Congored will close the door. And Myth, a well-needed.
Conky, you a man that believes in superstition?
No.
Good, because it's 9-3.
Yang udah member
some
gak makin
people
hilang
may
dong.
be,
Nanti ke refund jatuhnya deh kayaknya.
Alter Ego still coming out firm
Pokoknya
with
kalau
the
nanti
lead,
member-member yang
getting
hilang
credit
sementara
over
itu nanti ke
Smith,
refund.
changing it up in that
Jadi nanti
last
kalian
round
renew
there
tuh
to
aman.
secure their third on the board, but
Kan sekarang nih 93 adik-adik.
for what it's worth, all of their showcases
Sentinel man kapan,
towards
Ben?
these sites with some great early
3.
utility usage. It almost feels like that was the full entrapment to come down from Alter Ego's design.
3 subuh ya.
They're pulling Myth in, they're letting them into these sites because
An
they are
NA,
so
bro.
confident in going in for these retakes.
Sampai jam 8 kalau NA.
Screen now, right? You know, every single time.
3 subuh tuh berarti jam 8 ya?
Jam 3 subuh di kita.
Maksudnya di dia.
Di dia paling jam 10.
Absolutely swinging, but overall it's just really not happening for them at this point in time. Made in Thailand have been struggling the whole way through. Alter Ego not relying on any one member either, right? Everyone has been pulling their weight, everyone has been doing their part and fitting their roles as they kind of stand.
Harusnya cuman beda 10
Tadi kamu dengar suara hujan di aku nggak?
Enggak, kenapa? Emang lagi
Emang
hujan tuh di sana?
Iya, hujan deras banget. Terus aku buka jendela, adem soalnya.
Absolutely doing what he needs to do as the Brimstone here. Flip it over towards Myth, and it sells a little bit of a different story, right? More spread of nature. Again, I make mention they've got in towards these sites a lot, but they haven't been able to close it down. So switching it up into this defensive side, are we going to see, you know, pretty copy paste, right? We know that Kadoom loves to do what Del B was just doing over towards the A side of the map. Changing it up though, a little bit spread from the humble beginnings of this pistol round right now. A big grouping for Alter Ego by design over to the A site, a contest against a lone fills. And if they're able to waltz over him, if they're able to establish themselves as pistol and find double digits early,
Adam sambil ngedut tuh katanya tuh.
Leaning into Alone Fills, who was crunching out so many of those big rounds that we remember in the big overtime against Fancy on a
Asik
set.
sambil ngedut Poki.
Also thinking about Kadoom, you know, again versus Team Secret,
Jadi pengen makan
26-13,
Poki.
he pulled away on this Neon. But
nge-vape 2 ton.
I suppose, you know, to put it away, right? We've got the chamber holding down towards
Ngepuan.
the C position in Wannafly, does manage to get one, Rendezvous out, and he will have a little bit of a peek further down. Dark cover to support, and that has actually started to pull away a little bit of this rotation here. We did have 3 at the start on that B
Kasih hujan
side,
juga,
allowing them to play some reactive Valorant to what they get
Enggak
up thrown
kena
at them.
hujan,
So
nggak
Alter
apa-apa,
Ego
cerah
are going to reposition now down towards A, and it's only Alone Fills tucked in the cubby for the time being, and they've already pinged over towards the side.
it's been a hot minute since Alter Ego have had to play against.
Akankah keras ini berkelanjutan? Semoga jangan ya Allah. Ayolah.
Brimstone in the slopes means it's going to look a little bit more wary going in towards this A site. You've already got these rotations.
Ya elah Delby mati. Ya itu burung terbang, Cek.
It's looking like a massive shutdown at the moment.
Yeah.
There it is from Myth. Everybody getting a piece of the pie. And I like it. Let's go with that one.
It's pretty good.
Kerja kelompok sampai malam juga bisa nonton slow. Jangan lupa di like adik-adik yang berjoin, ayo.
Need to see something more from Myth. They need
Jadi kita sambil nunggu Babang Srot, kita push dulu ke Immortal 2 ya. Gue yakin banget nih, gue bisa Immortal 2. Buat ujian kan nggak tahu, bukan daerah gue.
But of course, it can't just be the pistol and then the next, right? You know, they waited a long time before Myth had the confidence to pick up.
Tapi nanti kita berhenti dulu ya. Paling kayak misalnya jam berapa ya? Jam berapa kita istirahat dulu, nanti sekitar udah mau mulai jam 2 gitu baru start streaming lagi. Oh iya, ngomong-ngomong Prakti Setan 2 udah keluar ya hari ini ya. Wah anjing lawan Pills. Flawless friend. Iya udah keluar tanggal 4.
Could be the name of the game if they, you
Bentar,
know,
gua mau WA.
a couple of guns here, but they're happy to do so. I think some corner cutting still may need to happen over on the side of Myth, right? This defensive side can be tricky business. Great side of AE. Now we're waiting to see if their guns are going to be able to steer them the right way.
And that was well played. You're always going to like to see a round like that where, you know, made in Thailand, they allow for the plant, they give that respect, and then retake is 5. You know, allowing a little bit of extra cash to go into the pocket of Alter Ego, but at the exact same time,
Bang, makanya nonton premier gua hari ini.
So at least they can play.
Gua nonton sama siapa ya?
Strong, some damage exchanged. Adrian King, he's the man to get it done. It is
nonton juga kan sampai hari Minggu PISITI tinjing.
Will they pick up the pace from here? It does appear to be so. Shrouded Step is tempted by Beta, but Adrian King, look at this position already. Komodo, he's straight up there. Already onto the site, and that has completely sent the side of Made in Thailand away.
Yep.
They're going to play this retake in full, but Kush, he's already out the window.
Getting very, very similar vibes at the moment between the match that we saw against Bleed for Alter Ego. Again, both pistols went over toward the opponent.
Okay,
this time it being
Yeah.
Myth. And, you know, they fell shy, right? 13-10 in the end. Here they've got
Nonton
more
major
rounds to play with
sekalian
than they
ya.
did in that series, and now
Iben gue
they're
ntar sama
looking to
Gaben.
achieve double digits. Myth though, they still want to play for this retake.
Barang ayam biar
Just
modus,
look
pegangan
at the
tangan.
force that
Aduh,
Alter Ego
pegangan
have
tangan masih
behind
modus zaman
side,
sekarang,
playing
kasihan
over
banget, Cuk.
towards long, a tap on towards the defuse for Shaw and Kadum. Now starting to go for it fully, but no one's looking at Kush
Push!
right now.
Oke.
That incendiary is going to be
Cakep,
burning
Gus.
Kadum.
Satu lagi, Gus.
Everybody
Ah,
falling right
nge-whip.
flank. Kush will lose his life as the first
Nggak
casualty
ke-reset
for Alter
recoilnya
Ego,
adik-adik.
but surviving with 4, you're still pretty chuffed with that.
Nice,
And he's got
nice,
the Vandal
nice.
as well to take away for Myth, so it's not all bad
Midnight
on
gua
both
filmnya,
sides.
wah gua kalau bisa
Alter
sih
Ego
pengen yang
getting to
Midnight
10
anjir,
is
lebih seru.
certainly a scary prospect, but losing your bonus is only one step. Made in Thailand still do have another opportunity to bring this one back. We have to
Ini si
see it,
PISITI
right?
malam
It's
ini
elimination.
pas kosong malam
Thailand's
nonton,
last team
anjay.
in this competition. It's going to be the last time. Oh, never mind.
Semua dimulai dari yang
Zersha,
kecil.
of course, just thinking that right now.
Turun.
Zersha is already all the way in champs alongside Paper X. But is it going to be that second Thai side to join them? You know, at this point in time,
Mana
it's looking
Srot, Bang? Lagi live tuh di
potentially
video.
not. There is still plenty of that series left. We've also got some bangers across the course.
Emang ada yang
tomorrow
Midnight?
as
Ada.
well, as we
Dulu
start
gua
to edge our way
nonton
towards that
apa ya Midnight ya?
semi-final stage.
Anjir
I
lupa.
almost feel like the attacker side was maybe not enough from Myth coming in towards this series as well.
Quiet
Right? We
Place
saw
apa
how
ya?
many
Gua lupa
rounds
dah.
they were able to get
Dulu.
in a row over against Team Secret. All of them when the side was switched, in fact. 7 in a row, and here, well, they didn't get 7 on that attacker side. Alter Ego starting off that gun round, that bonus round rather, I should say.
Di video
going
iya
their way.
Pandra Oktober
The
Hamon.
fact that Wannafly has an operator
Srot
posted
Indo.
on a pretty precarious line from the C site. It would need a pretty quick
Wah,
swing
nonton
from
Laskar
Dragon King to
Perangi
be
si
able to
Midnight
find
seru banget,
the
itu serem.
first frag here.
Asli.
And once more, I may mention a couple rounds ago, right? Kadum loves to be able to
Lintang,
push down a
bocah kecil
long.
berkulit
Done that
hitam,
here.
mampu
Does have a
mengayu
lone kills to play spotter
sepedanya.
for him as well, but just this patience from Myth, a bit of garage control.
Sekarang mah nggak ada lagi
All
Ben
the
semenjak
opponents in Alter
Covid.
Ego. Finally
Atau ntar gua cek ya daerah gua ada nggak?
from Alter Ego, but again, the return can be said by a lone kills sending that draw
Ara-ara.
down long.
10.000 dari
Dari
Ketoprak
Ketoprak
Rebus.
Rebus. Terima kasih 10.000-nya.
Aduh pengen nonton pengabdi set asteris 2, tapi takut. Gimana ya solusinya Kak Diksi?
Solusinya jangan nonton ya kalau takut. Atau bawa ayang supaya enggak takut-takut amat ya. Kalau nggak bisa bawa ayang, nggak punya, bisa rental. Sekarang ada rental ayang. Itu testimoninya udah banyak. Rental ayang lagi viral. Mas live di YouTube. Nanti si Nunggu jam 4 pindah itu. Oh, what the fuck, Kadum? Anjing, apaan sih? Cakep. Atuh Delby jangan Delby, jangan aneh-aneh. Astaga Delby. Wah.
It's so close for Alter Ego
Ente
to
dah.
be able to find that one again, relinquishing themselves from the side, playing passive back on toward it with a nice protector
Si
play.
Kadum
You
memang
know the
jago,
lines that
friend.
You can spray down where Myth can get on toward the defuse, and Myth realizing
Kaget
that
kayaknya
as
tuh pas
well,
ngejiggle 2
going
kali.
for the
Anjing masih di
challenge
stick
early,
gitu kan.
everybody sending themselves
Jadinya
in.
panik
Almost
deh.
feels like sacrificial lambs here, but in the end on the 1 versus 1, we have
Sorry,
a little
Kal.
bit of Neon diff coming into the action. The double jump spot to come out from Del B, and on the third time he goes for the challenge, Kadum says no. Myth.
Solusi nonton
Gun
reka
round
film
back
di
into
YouTube
water.
aja.
We've got
Ya
another one
Allah.
here to witness. And
Nonton
ultimately
reka
Del
film,
B
bah.
to get a little bit of
Apa
a wallbang
feelnya,
on
babi?
towards the lone fills.
That was on the exit, trying to get out of the garage straight away. Now that's a great flash.
Okay,
but-
nice
Well,
trade,
Red
nice
does
trade.
respond with at least one. Adrian King, good for the trade. That does put Alter Ego into the
Ben,
advantage, and now when you're
jangan lupa
on the
di-like
defender's
adik-adik yang
side,
berjoin ya.
man disadvantage, you know, 3 to 4 here. There's just so much area.
Masih
of the
kenapa
map
sering
to
lompat habis
control.
nembak? Kayaknya kepencet
Gotta
deh
leave
itu
just
kan.
beta.
Pasti
Solo
pro player
scene,
itu
now they
lompatnya
try
pakai
to
scroll.
and adjust this lean. Kadum
Jadi rentan untuk kepencet nih. Dapat satu noksi berangkat set. Ya ngelamun. Lagi ngelihat map tuh, yakin bet gua.
But again, you know, when you've got 3 players on this defensive side, there are so many gaps, and now Adren King setting up the Rolling Thunder toward the seaside. Do Myth look to get a contest early on? It's Beta the closest soldier here.
Oh, Adrian.
Paranoia could buy some time for sure, but I think they have to go for a bit of a retake. The plant is open this time on the other side of the site. Expecting warbangs again.
10.000
with the
dari
incendiary
Ketoprak
grenade.
Panggang.
Adren King, an
Pesan,
early aftershock to
aduh
buy
tapi
some
pengen
time.
nonton.
3 versus 3.
Kak Diksi aku sewa gimana? Asteris
Perfect timing. Bit of patience waiting for that retake to come on in. Now all three members on top of
Ketoprak.
this side. That dark cover.
Makasih 10.000-nya ya.
Still has some time. And
Jangan
know exactly where the strike
gua
is. This
harganya
time
mahal.
towards the left. Kadoom is
Mahal,
anyway. Kadoom
jangan.
is keen. At least he will be able
Kalau
to
nyawa gua harganya
Now
mahal.
playing
Jangan,
up
jangan,
high,
jangan.
down low, but no dark cover
Dan
to
gua
be
nggak mau
thrown
kelihatan
up.
sus
Beta,
juga ya.
He's taken now. Kush and Axlovia.
Sebenarnya kalau emang lu cewek ya kan.
Managed to find one, but Kush gets the swing.
Good trade.
And that is a massive,
Kalau emang lu
punish. You're
cewek.
exactly right. Trades back and forth. And once again, it's all reliable in Kush to take them up to 11. Only 2 more needed in this map.
The big difference in
Jangan,
that
nanti gua
situation
ngantuk.
as well was the
Keluar
fact that
naga,
AE
jangan.
had 2 soldiers alive. They were able to swing together. It was only last time that it was the 1-on-1, and it went the way of Myth. So numbers advantage goes their way, and look at the
Cewek apaan
scary
namanya
territory
ketoprak.
they're in right now, Honky. Look how many ultimates
Lu
are
kagak
here,
tahu
all run
aja.
away.
Ada tuh satu cewek namanya mie ayam. Ayo. Mie ayam the best. Tahu nggak lu? Tahu pasti lu.
Do it up right now. 5 less.
Kenapa nggak boleh
And
ketoprak?
look at the money here. They've got
Ay,
a bit of an eco.
nice.
They have to cut some
Anjing,
corners
hampir
again, like I was
mati lu
mentioning
DLB.
earlier, to keep Alter Ego from getting that 12th round. That map Doom sent in the overdrive, lost his life. A
Ui.
great shot from Delby
Oh
makes things
my
even more
God.
difficult now for Myth.
Nice
And the
banget, Delby.
information on the back of the Seekers means the jig is up. All of the Myth members are going to be known.
Mati nih orang. Noxy.
Somehow he's able to
Cakep.
get at least a right click out. Doesn't really work. Alone feels is the one to get a frag back from
Nah,
Myth.
nah, kan
Bonus
tahu kan lu.
advantage for them going in towards this retake, and an awkward shot out from a Drenking doesn't really matter as he
Nah,
finds it.
cara mengecek
Foxy
dia
does as
cewek
well.
atau
There is
bukan
that
gini ya
12
kan.
AE.
A Stinger's not
Ya,
exactly the
ngentot
weapon
kamu
you wanna
dapat ya.
retake, right? So we do give them the benefit of the doubt in that round. Just
Gua sepil nama lu.
for this overtime. 6 rounds away, made in Thailand. They need to make it happen. And again, you know, just going back to that further point about the kill disparity, they're not converting their rounds. They are taking it down to these clutch positions. But that is where AE have just been
Mana lu
so
dapat?
much better.
Komen.
They've had a phenomenal attack ever since we swapped at the half. And they've just been consistent again. You know, I keep making mention to this guy in Kush at how many times he's won a clutch moment down.
And I think I gotta use the word a little bit disappointing.
Dapat bukan lu doang.
Both pistols going their way, only able to get 4 rounds on the back of that.
Aduh.
It's a bit awkward for them, but a change of pace.
There's
in this
Kadoom.
round.
Kenapa
Kadoom
bang? Aduh,
down
yang
towards
mana
that
di
bomb again.
dapanya
We've seen
ya?
that time and time,
Oh,
but
gua
he
tahu
finds
nih.
the opener, and it's an unanswered.
Dava Raji, hah? Aduh, banyak lagi kaum Dava aja.
Komodo. Do want to see it get all the way there, and you know, Kadoom trying to take that real estate early on is a good.
Mau disewa gua
I
pasti
suppose,
dapat.
start, but there's still so much ahead. It's a definitely stormy path for them to walk through. Be
Da
vigilant.
OA.
Now
Jangan-jangan da OA guys.
Zarigo trying again for this seaside approach. Beta has managed to spot him. Relay bolt towards the back of the site. That makes it all.
Mati nih orang. Awas, cek. Kus, kus.
He manages to creep just his way through.
Kus ganteng.
Tucked in on the other side of the site, but Moxie
Mampus buta lu.
straight through, but punished. Alone feels Conqueror getting a coupler, but once again it's Kush, it's Axlovia, and Wannafly. He's all alone in a 1-on-2.
What?
It's out the rendezvous, and he's certainly
Astagfirullahaladzim,
meeting
gak
someone
mati dong.
somewhere, but. Kush, he can get that plant. What's the 1v1 clutch come down to?
And the information that Kush got off his ultimate is now null and void because Wannafly has repositioned. And look
Anjir.
at the wraparound.
GG
Kush
dong,
looking
masa
over
kalah ya
towards
kan?
defense is more, but you're exactly right here, Conky. The
GG
trap gives up
dong,
all
masa
the
kalah.
information for Kush. How does he play on
2-0
the back of
lah.
this though? Does he go for the early challenge? Wannafly, 15 HP. He gets his head absolutely destroyed. A
Aduh,
chance,
jangan
a fresh
jangan OT dah lawan
sorely
MIT Hunter kayak kemarin, aduh.
given to Myth.
Oh my god, Sentinels of Light in that round. It's one where you get to see the big brains battle it out with their utility. Wannafly straight into the head of Kush. I'm getting out of there. I'm going all the way around long. But then Kush says, bro, I've got my tripwire down. He has to take the
Dia mau
fight.
ada timing
And in
ini.
the end, he does manage to get away with it. Incredible stuff here from Wannafly. He's a player that we constantly talk about on this side of Myth that we need to see perform.
Gua kira dia mau hold
And
angle.
like that is exactly
He's a
what they
player
need.
that's been
Ada
highlighted in
pick,
one of our matchups in this series before, right? Predominantly, you see him on the Killjoy putting up some
Mulut
things.
lu
You know,
sih,
the
Ben,
clutch
sorry dah.
potential was a statistic that we mentioned earlier on in the tournament as well.
Yeah.
And this is why the
Srot
clutch
jam 3 subuh.
is very calm and collected.
It's another time down. Would appear. Bit of a time to think, work out exactly what the go is. It's the most opportune time to do it. You know, Alter Ego not want to have issues with closing out a map.
You make
Because
me
being ahead
move.
so early means that at least by dragging that one forward, you know, taking that momentum, if you let Myth even get up to
Alter
10
Intro is
you know,
back.
rounds,
Bang
that's
ya.
enough to kind of
Kus
throw
mantep ya,
themselves
16.
into that next map, right? You do not want the snowball effect.
Killnya
or
lagi rata ya,
catapult
11,
to give
13,
them
14,
any form.
15, 16, asik.
A team like Alter Ego, again, they're a statement team.
10.000
They need to
dari
prove
Ketoprak
this contest
Mozzarella.
in Indonesia of
Pesan.
who is going to be the best. And
Aha, 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 aha. asteris lo endut.
Lu juga gendut, kentot lu Dapa. Makasih 10.000-nya ya ke Toprak Mozzarella. Yang sudah pasti namanya Dapa juga.
The cursed word in OT.
I love overtime. What do you mean?
Good Valorant.
Terus masih OP, masih aim ya.
We've had 2 overtime
Nah, kita lihat aja nanti mekaniknya segila apa ya.
Both of which were yesterday. Our casters were sending shills throughout the studio.
Nama gua, nama lu Moja.
Has to rendezvous out. We've seen Beta stuck at this position before. He stepped out last time.
Dapat dong Delby. Ayah.
Beta still finds that. And as
Oke banget si Beta.
He's caught looking at the wrong way. Beta again going a little bit ham with the newest edition here for this side in Myth. And it does look like they have a pretty good lockdown. The awareness factor around the C site is sublime.
Massive play there from Beta again. You know, he's the newest addition, and being able to slot into a roster playing on that controller role can be so challenging, but he's done it fantastically here on the Omen. He does still have the, you know, from the shadows available.
Babang Srot seumuran sama Octo tuh.
It's one of those interesting ults on the defensive side, right? It's very situational and
not jangan hotel lah, sumpah.
Maybe for some info here and there.
Jangan
it also depends if you've got like a very quick play happening, you can quickly get behind your opponents. It's generally more so of a readable play, but in situations it definitely can work.
Yeah, absolutely. But now it's finally back down to those sheriffs, right? We already saw the previous round where we had to see Kush adopt exactly that. They took a risk, they took a gamble, they bought into the 4 Vandals, and you know, Myth did drop down to just sort of a couple of members, but at least their money is still nice. It doesn't matter if they lose the round, the game is done. So now they've got 4 more left, and an opening pick onto Delby is a great start.
Opening pick to Delby. But the thing I'm seeing right now is when we've got guns next for AE, regardless of outcome here, if they win it, I mean, it's done and dusted, right? But the death of Axelavia and Noxy gives ultimates. That's an orbital strike, that's Seekers, that's information and damage, and Alter Ego need 1 round to close out this map of their opponents.
Spike plant could boost them forward as well, give them a better buy.
Pas plan B.
Next, but they're moving
kabur dan Noxy mah korbannya Noxy.
Look at this swing though.
Oh iya masuk, what?
Still alive a second, Noxy. Lovely work here.
Wah, gak apa-apa, Nasiko.
There's that post plan from Axelavia. The incendiary goes down, but so does he, and that is going to be a 9th here for Made in Thailand.
Man, Wonderfly has really stepped up onto this defensive side. Multi-kill upon multi-kill, time and time again. You got starts from Beta, finishes from Wonderfly. Where was this?
Kita siapin dulu surfing CSGO kali guys ya. Nanti nunggu map 2 surfing CSGO dulu ya kan. Surfing manja. Lu bisa tanda seru bracket juga kalau mau lihat.
I guess the main thing is right, you know, you can't criticize Kadum over the top. You've got the rest of the team stepping up when they need him. It just would have propelled them a little bit further forward. It needs to be all members firing on all cylinders, and at least we are seeing that in this match right now.
One is the magic number right now for
replay 2 tahun lalu
nih. All they need to pick up this map and have a little bit of a pause before we get into the next of Fracture. As I mentioned, a couple of ults to be able to play with in this new round, and they have managed to gain a long control. They can extend that down in towards Suez before setting it up. But I have my focus on Wonderfly again. He's pushed down C long, so any rotation that AE would want to do, they currently cannot. There goes that Trailblazer. Here's the Seekers. This is setting up for an A-sided pop.
Hunter's Fury available, but you know, Lone Field's rather not exactly.
Wah, dimasukin. Oh, nice! Oh my god, Adrian, nice jiggle.
Noxy another, and this could potentially be
where it all
falls down. Komodo.
GG.
Wonderfly does have that tour de force available. They're starting to wrap in.
Noxy jangan aneh-aneh. Noxy.
All the way around. Great paranoia, and there's Congared to enter in. Now the orbital strike goes down. Can he find Congared? Congared with 3. It might have just been enough to drag them.
Okay, nice.
Round, but Noxy.
Kabur, Noxy. Kus.
On the lurk. Noxy.
Aduh!
But it's not gonna be
Kenapa keluar?
with 3, but Beta says, get out of my sight, and he will close the 10th round here for Made in Thailand.
Congared and Beta to bring
3 lawan 5.
2 members getting all of the kills, the clutch to come through to Myth, and when you think the maelstrom of an attack can come through to close out the game for Alter Ego, it's not over just yet. Ladies and gentlemen, you mentioned double digits would be the number that we needed to see from Myth. Well, they've got.
Gue tadi nggak tahu kenapa, nggak tahu callnya gimana. Tapi Noxy cabut dari Gravity. Dia mungkin tahu dia bakal di flash di Gravity kan. Tapi kalau dia di flash di Gravity, dia punya counter flash anjir. Masih bisa ngeburung. Dilepas Gravity-nya anjir. Tadi ultinya Axel juga kan nggak sampai pojok banget kan? Kenapa ya? Oh, jangan-jangan mau mainin mental di AE, di OT-in gitu kan, terus dibantai di OT. Likerji, thank you udah join member. Wah. Wah!
It's only an eco round, but it's an eco round that will take them to 12-11. We're going to have an all-out brawl to see whether or not we go to that blessed overtime.
Superstitious 9-3 curse. I think there's some people that are going to make an argument that it possibly could be a real thing in Valorant, but you've got to give a firm handshake over towards Myth. They are keeping themselves alive in this game. And you can't even chalk it up towards mistakes from Alter Ego as well, right? Because the Myth members are just doing absolutely what they need to do. And this is the crux of it, right? This is the last round in regulation, rounds number 24. The guns all coming through. Those abilities, couple of ults for sure as well. Still can't believe we've got so many assists from Axlovia, but regardless. Tour de Force out from Wannafly, no longer pushing down C-Long, taking a different angle towards Garage. We've seen Alone Fills peppered through these doors before. He's waiting for a chance to shoot, he's waiting for a chance for victory, and he has to rendezvous out for now.
There's a little bit more of an ultimate to come on through. Adrian King
Kabur.
has Delby. Look at this position. This time
Aduh, satu lagi.
But Beta, he
Nice.
might be having enough of his own, but he's going to be
Aduh, buset jorok banget.
Tunnel vision, Komodo.
Yeah,
back to this 3-on-3.
Belum disemok loh.
For Delby for sure, but he's only able to find one. A little bit unfortunate. 3 versus 3.
Belum
The
disemok.
Neural from Kush could actually find a lot of information. And there it is. The expiry time was just about to happen. All 3 Myth members seen.
Kurang nyantai nih, kepanasan nih gue rasa deh.
To be able to utilize here either this drone, it's not going to be able to find it, and an
Nice
incendiary by
delay.
8 seconds of time, a flashpoint as well. Time is so crucial right now for Myth.
Ayo Kus, masih punya smoke. Lempar aja Kus.
They have to go now. You know, Alter Ego, they might just very well be able to bring this.
Sabar Kus, sabar.
An absolute track on, but
Lu sabar banget Kus.
Aduh. Kush, but he's been taken, he's been found, and now that post plant, there's none of the utility. There is no incendiary. There's nothing to throw them off this defusal. But Axlovia, he finds one, but it's not enough, and it is going to be just enough time for Congaret to take it to overtime from 12-6 to 12-12. This is Valorant. This is APAC, and this
dari
is the
12-6, astagfirullahaladzim.
To not peek in towards the fast lane. I saw Alone Fills. I saw Kadu
Wah,
waiting,
bahaya nih bro, kalau OTM ITH bro.
And in the end, he still manages to lose out that duel, unfortunately. And Myth, they love these challenges when the plant is there, when the defuse has
Tapi seru sih. Dari tadi perang, maju, perang, tembak.
You have to have confidence. You have to have trust. And that's exactly what all 5 members of both of these squadrons do have right now.
This is Valorant, this is Epic,
You
kata
have the
anjing.
9-3 lead. It's now on to overtime. You need to bring out everything here to get this map.
Kena curse Thailand kayaknya Pren.
Both of these teams need to just keep their composure as best as possible from now. All
Emosi memang banyak emosi. Pasti playernya juga emosi.
Mistake could throw them into disarray. Alter Ego surely starting to question themselves a little bit. A tilt starting to set in. And
Mampus. Udah.
Confident to go back to the old works of pushing down mid, as what we did see so much earlier in the match.
Changing it up though, right? Pushing down with his own body this time instead of a Trailblazer or a Guiding Light. Usually what Myth were expecting. Information they don't really care about giving on over.
Kush already all the way down C-Long. Should be a massive position for Alter Ego to kind of bounce off of, but already Kadoom creeping in. Will he get spotted? That information from the Guiding Light might be enough, but maybe not enough to let them know Kadoom's position. He might get all the way through.
Aduh, itu alingnya awas, aling.
Straight around this position. Kadoom, there's one. Alone Fills another. Kadoom.
Oh shit, hanya dapat bro.
This A site, there's nobody home, and the defense from Kush and Del B, there is no way they can get their way back into this here. And Alone Fills has the flank.
Pasti nggak dicek.
Has been a little quiet. We've questioned him, but this time
he was the instigator. The
rest of his team are going to be the ones to close this down from 9-3 to take the lead here into overtime. It's on to Kush. A 1 versus 4. There's even 2 members away from the ultimate here. 1 away rather in Myth. But for Kush, how do you even path yourself back into this round? The navigation.
Gimana caranya ini? Itu lihat satu orang masih di B anjir, si Lone Pills bener-bener alone itu orang.
near nigh impossible right now. And there it is
Ente.
as well. Kadoom for the 3K, 13 for
Ayolah.
me. If you are a Thai fan, well, maybe you guys have still got it.
Almost a little lackluster there, wasn't it, in that end of the round? Just that
Aduh,
tiny
gua
little
takut
bit of
sendiri nih,
position when
anjing.
Kadoom slipped through. Neon, normally an agent that's very much up in your face, not exactly sneaky.
Jadi harusnya udah
enough,
menang
think
waktu
for the night.
1
She's the
lawan
one to yell
1,
at you at
Push
the
Wanna
middle of the
Fly.
party, right?
Terus
To tell you how quick she is.
waktu
And all of a sudden,
di A
straight
juga
into
harusnya
it.
udah
That is
menang
just
itu.
absolute insanity to see what
Pengaretnya
we
malah
have
dapet
seen
3.
right now. The lead taken by Made in Thailand. One more is all that they need.
Ini sih mentalnya MITH naik nih dari 12-6 anjir. Dia udah menangin 7 round.
Control down A long has to be conceded. But the immediate rotation.
Kan Nobar harusnya santai. Iya kagak tenang kita, Cok. Tegang sendiri anjing. Ini berasa AC gue jadi panas nih sekarang.
A lot of heated rounds previously. Here's that Trailblazer again from Noxy, trying to establish some domain control, and here comes that play again, straight on in. Here's DB, first way goes the way of a Drain King.
Cakep!
More for Alter
Sip.
Ego. They're finally here.
Udah, jangan aneh.
It's all they really need at this point
Jangan
in
aneh,
time
Cok.
to take that back. Just one round is enough to reset the mental, to reset the focus. And that's potentially what we're seeing.
Nice!
Like,
Gitu dong.
It was completely looking the other way here, Kush. Now it's all on Debater. I mean, the pressure is nigh, my friend. No one's going to expect you to walk away with a 1v4 here, but they would
headset gue hilang.
to see if any mistake will come through from Alter Ego. Now the dark cover might give him some space. That reposition though from mid, they know exactly where he is. All it's going to take is a quick stutter step. Kush, he's looking, he knows, he's close, and he's
gagal popin. Udah gak usah dipik, santai udah. Tenang ya.
So many members, so many angles.
Cakep.
Ayo,
Dua lagi.
We go again.
A-side affair for both of these sides, so able to get it done. We were wondering yesterday with all that overtime.
Oh, dari Valorantnya hilang. Gua kira dari headset gua hilang, Cok. Oh, dari headset gua hilang, lu orang masih bisa dengar biasanya.
It's just such a fascinating affair when we get in toward it. So neck and neck from these teams, and I do really wonder how far are we going to be able to go? What differences are we going to be able
Coba
to
kita
see
nyender dulu ya
in
biar
these
santai.
rounds between these teams? The operator is
Menang nih,
out for
Alter
Delby
Ego.
on the Neon for Alter
Yeah.
Ego right now. Currently
Nyender
going
deh.
to be positioned over at that C site.
Neon Operator is a bold play, Cotton, but let's see how it pays off here. It's just going to be utilizing it nice and patiently, watching in
Nggak
towards
bisa,
that
gua nggak bisa
barrage
nyender nih.
position. Will be spotted.
Bangsat.
There it is. The jig is up now.
He wants a reveal.
Noxy on
Sore
the
Ben,
other
udah
side,
makan
but
belum?
exactly right.
Sore
That
pros.
reveal could mean everything here. Komodo Kush though, his position also fantastic. He's got
Noxy
this
mau nyari
control time
30
and time
dulu
again,
lah,
hasn't he?
buset.
Just a complete and utter standstill
Ada
for Mickey.
turnamen
They don't know
begitu.
where to go.
Gue mau 30 kill lah guys ya. Kalau misalnya nggak sampai 30, OT-in aja. Nggak mungkin.
Back as well. Nobody wants to be the first casualty. Nobody wants to give up the bag in this round.
Tuh lihat betapa rapinya MITH mengecek corner ya.
Again, a minute mark is found. Myth, they are very
Temennya udah lewat juga si Wanna Fly tetap lihat kiri tadi.
Such a slow creep.
Awas, Axel. Ay.
Straight into the site, Kadoom.
Kena kan?
There's the opener. Will he have any more? Relay bolt goes through. He's close. He's got one.
That's
And
right.
a second in the round as well.
Dah,
But
tungguin
Noxy can
teman-teman
at least
Noxy.
respond. He gives some life back to Alter Ego. It's been
Ini
a
Noxy
trade
pasti
back
mau
and forth
nge-flash
of these
ini lagi nih.
attack-decided rounds, but there's still so much
Oh,
time for
nggak
these
jadi.
remaining two members
Kira
to
mau
slot
nge-flash
on in.
under.
Having a look down, Sewers will be alone. Feels
Oke,
can call, but
tukeran.
that's clear. But all three members moving through this position now. Del B, he's going to have to be quick. The flashpoint will keep him at bay for just a second. Now it's that guiding light. It's going to go low, and will it be
Wah,
enough?
lu gila, Noxy.
Punishes Butterfly, gets another. Kush is only good for one because alone feels he's going to secure round number 14, and Myth extend the overtime. One away.
Comeback sih
from
Ben kayak
denying
kompe
all
lu.
odds
Wow.
on Haven.
They've been in this chance before. They've been in this position, right? We've seen the lead in this.
Oh, nggak
OT
dapet
for
dia
Myth. They've
lebihnya,
got to
anjir.
try and close it out here. The ace site again. The site of choice for them to try and close
Aduh,
it
jangan
down.
map 3 lah,
But it's all
ayolah.
on towards Alter Ego from the deficit from behind. We're actually going to have a timeout from Myth. Now, that's an interesting thing. They still have one in
iri
their
pengen
back
kayak
pocket.
Bubon.
Technically, I did forget about that, but I'm
Nggak
glad
gitu
that
aja,
they're
orang tadi
trying to
kebantai.
reset themselves because last time they had the advantage. I guess they chose not to use it, right? This time, feeling that they need to.
Mendingan Lovit asik juga nih hotdog
Just
ya.
a perfect reset moment, even if it's just something like having a drink, looking away from the monitor for 2 seconds, right? Having a bit of a
Gak di lower
conversation
juga,
with the guys,
anjay,
keeping that mental
anjay.
set. This is the time where the coach comes in, levels the head, make sure the right decisions occur. They're moving back onto what is now, I suppose, considered, for the game at least, the easier defender's side. That's where all the rounds have been found from both of these squads. But all I can say is Alter Ego must be feeling the pressure to be able to at least convert that one round to 13.
Yep.
Was enough to at least give us something. But will they be able to push back down again?
Myth, no strangers to OT as well. You look at the scoreline that they had in Fancy United. They've already had to test themselves throughout OT in this tournament so far. Their metal, it's hardened up a little bit at the moment. 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds left in this freeze time to get back in toward it. Are we going to see Myth close down the map of their own choosing here and now? Or do we have another round of OT in us?
Alhamdulillah.
Out towards the A lobby. Again, such a prestigious position to try and get control of for these teams. Almost home territory, it feels like.
Could be such a big duel here. You can see the lineup of the Flash here. They're just waiting to see if anything will be spotted off the back of that. But I think they're going to wait.
50.000
Three members inside
dari Raihan 15. Pesan buat beli makan Bang Diki.
50, terima kasih 50.000-nya bos Raihan ya. Alhamdulillah. Beli makan apa ya? 50 ya. Cepetan tuh gua ngomong.
Gets out.
I like that. I like it. He's not popped it immediately as well. He can choose to use it for a little bit of a disorienting affair later on when the flashes do reset for Noxy here. They could pop out the cage. They could use it to
beli Maxime kayaknya asik nih sore-sore gini. Apa sih namanya?
They did peel away from the A site, but now they've waltzed on back.
Spike still down, Komodo. 40 seconds. It's a long way to go. But not a whole lot of time. They re-aggress for that information again. The recon bolt is available for a lone field, so he's going to send that. Yeah, exactly. Not spotted. Very well done. But you know what they've done? They basically
berapa detik nih mau maju aja nih? Ayolah, Kus.
Kush has actually sent something out to at least potentially try and sell some form of information. And yeah, maybe there's a call.
Kus, saatnya kamu menyerang, Kus.
At the exact same time, Kadoom, he's down in sewers, and now they can start to know.
Srot satu, Srot.
Go Del B. He is there. Noxy just needs to look. They might get this plank.
Cakep, Del B.
It might be too quick. It might be too far. Del B, Noxy getting it done. They want more.
Nice.
Beta tries to hold, but the spike will go down. It's all in the Beta.
Satunya udah ketahuan di B ngebunuh Kus.
About being close, a couple of milliseconds to spare. It almost feels
like
it's 1 versus 3.
Nggak tahu deh jam segini ya, gue belum keluar kamar lagi.
Jellyfish is going to be hunting Beta. And the Flash as well to buy a little bit of time. He has a paranoia. 10 seconds that you cannot commit to wait for your next smoke. You have to go in now. Clear what angles that you possibly can.
They're pretty split.
In again, try and see just where exactly he's found.
No, santai.
No tap, going for a bit of a hunt first. Clear what angles he can, but again, that time really is pressure. And it's 14 apiece. Mr.
Ajaran nenek lah, please lah.
We do go again, and that was very well played from Alter Ego. They were super patient. They didn't burn too much. They waited to see where there was a little bit of a false sense of security. And even with Kadoom down sewers, they were ready to punish him. Right away, the Del B took control of that site. Noxy did fantastically as well to punish the men. And yeah,
jadi kalau menang defense harusnya win.
I mean, they were very split. They were in positions where they were kind of quasi 1v1s, right? That position for sure. But I suppose they could have both swung
like-nya udah 500 belum adik-adik.
I got to give my props to Alter Ego to be able to make a play like that after a lengthy time out from Myth. I mean, to keep their composure here is why they're at this level of the competition.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Oh, itu cuma buat nge-scan yang nge-push ya, anjir.
In through mid yet again. We've seen the A site really just be the only thing to happen throughout the course of this OT so far. So I think we're in need of a bit of a change of pace. And Myth, they might be feeling the same way. In towards the garage, the guiding light for some info from Noxy once more. But Myth, they ain't sold. They don't have anyone down C long at the moment. They don't know if someone like Kush is going to be pushed down there. It is a big tendency.
Berangkatlah, gope.
Back to basics, really, for Alter Ego. You know, they're sort of adopting this more passive route that they were taking at the start. Now, Kadoom,
Askus.
Getting position. Kush, he has crossed the site, but will they walk out at the right time?
Nice, Axel.
Gets it inside the smoke, but there we go.
Satu lagi garage anjir.
They still cannot overlook this CT position.
Hey! Nice, Noxy!
It's not enough, though. Noxy, he will punish. Now, maybe enough time to get planted, but Noxy, he's still kicking. He's still fighting.
Gitu dong!
In the process, Congrad has to do it all in a 1v2 situation. Can he find a third?
Itu dia, Babang Noxy, adik-adik.
Finally finally pull themselves
hilang.
out of the dirt and back on top of the podium. One more for the round.
It wasn't too egregious for the Myth members, but the fact that it was one at a time going in towards the crosshairs of Noxy. If alone
Anjir, itu si DLBC stunnya bagus banget ya.
potentially happens, but this is the first time that we've actually seen Alter Ego be able to get the first way ahead. It's always been Myth, and AE had to come from behind.
Cuman sayangnya udah gak ada. Udah gak ada musuhnya.
They've got that leap, and they just need to make sure
Kapan main jam 3 subuh?
to get to the other
Iya
side.
beneran 30 kill ini mah udah.
Right on the sky, Code Red at 30 on the breach. Like that's insane, right? To see these two.
Mati nih orang. Mati nih orang. Aduh. Nice.
Getting it done. Beta fighting another as well.
Nice. Nice. Aduh anjir. Aduh anjir.
Trying to find more, and guess what? No. Kush is alive.
Ayo kus bocil cheater tuh. Please banget bocil cheater.
He will stand up and rise above the rest of the audience in this one. But he has to
Bocil
get this
cheater,
one
bocil cheater.
find the seaside free of charge.
Man, that is such
Defnaga.
Frags over at that A-long position, but for now, Kush, one away from neural theft if you can get it. This is where a champion can be
Cuma
nurtured.
Fly bisa TP lagi ke
One
kiri.
versus two, the swing, waiting for the ultimate. No, rather not the ultimate, the ability. There is the
Let's go, bocil cheater.
One versus two, both
Itu
headshots
dia
in as
adik-adik.
well.
Kus ganteng.
16 to 14, Alter Ego. They have swindled Myth's map away from them.
Swear the amount of times we have mentioned this guy's name, Kush, the man with the cap on his
Capek.
head, sometimes thrown off, but he is a demon in the night. He has absolutely done it for his team again. A 1v3 clutch to clinch overtime, 16 to 14. It was an absolute saga in this matchup that we have seen, and one reason why
Let's go.
Valorant is an esport to be feared, and the way it is played out. A massive props to both teams.
Aduh.
Made it entertaining, but there is
Saatnya surfing kita biar santai, friend, sumpah.
in this best of 3 series, as we will see it.
Lo di sentinel agennya apa? Controller pokoknya.
So much momentum, so much mojo, so much.
Ntar dulu nih, mic gua pasti 100 nih bentar lagi nih.
Then from everybody in the server, so many
Baru map 1 udah dibikin deg-degan, kita jantungan, friend. Tak ada aja.
And I just gotta say, man, that map of Valorant again, those overtimes that we've seen.
Yes, anjay, mic 100, let's go.
What Valorant is made of. Big old props
Ntar
to both
turunin
teams
dulu ya.
here, but for Alter Ego, they get that done.
Finale in Fracture. Potentially, if the way the AE is going, we'll find all out after we throw to the analysts.
Mic-nya tiba-tiba 100 memang. Sabar ya. Ini kayak gambarnya kurang gede nih, friend. 1600 900 set. Nah, kan enak. Surfing lu surfing. Noxy, ya nggak 30 Noxy jadi adik. 29 ya. Kita pakai lagu ini aja. Anjir apa nih? Bentar. Yo. Surf. Easy surf. Surf crow. Beginner surf. Nah, beginner aja lah kita. Beginner surf. Surf Frost, surf Artois. Apaan min 1? Oh, min 1 kill. Ngomong-ngomong temen gua tuh di bawah jadinya main apa, friend? You make me move. Yo, you make me move. Menang kalah tadi, menang. Oh, GTA. Di alter asik banget. Sesuai. Anjir, surf apa nih? Stack 1 sampai 5, oke. What the fuck? Oh, oke, gua tahu nih caranya. Pasti lo sini set. Hop, anjay. Let's go. Keeping life in the side, all because of you. Woo! Anjing, pinggir. Wah, EZ banget ini mah. Bener-bener beginner, cok. Beginner kalah juga lu tolol. Salah mencet. Apaan sih? Goblok loncat sendiri. Ya, nggak nyampe dong gua. Kalian mandi sok, yang mau mandi dulu adik-adik, kita nunggu dulu nih map 2. Oke. Yup. Anjing, kok di situ susah ya? Gimana caranya anjir yang stack 5 ya? Speed gua turun terus. What the fuck? Predict final LCQ. Wah, nggak tahu dah ya. Gue berharap sih Boom Onyx lagi sih, atau Boom AE gitu. Indo lah dua-duanya. Cuman kayaknya Blitz sih masih gacor banget ya. Jadi kayaknya Blitz masuk final sih. Kok susah sih? Nih nggak bisa nih. Map replay. Map replay. EZ 1 sampai 4-nya, yang 5-nya nggak tahu kenapa kok momentumnya nggak dapet ya. Tuh, main surfing tuh nggak pakai W tuh, AD doang dia tuh. Beginner cenah ya, bacot banget lu. Set, teknik gue udah benar, set. Nah ini dia nih. Set. Lah kok dia dapat momentumnya anjing? Babi. Dua nahan space. Itu mah biar ini aja, kalau nahan space biar kayak kalau ada loncatan gitu langsung auto bunny hop. Ngentot. Ganti map dia babi. Brengsek. Dari kemarin nih gue mau finish ganti map. Astagfirullahaladzim, dia nggak boleh kasar. Bersetubuh. Capek. Road to hell, wah susah nih. Road to hell bah. Sentinel main jam berapa? Ya Allah. Pom. Tanda suruh sentinel, pom. Mana tuh? Oh, ke sini. Kemana tuh? Oh, ke situ, anjir. Ntar kita cari jalannya dulu lah. Halo? Kok nggak ada map replaynya? Jadi dulu sih mau mancing bocil sentinel, iya. Pancingnya dulu ya kan. Oke. Ini muter ke bawah, set. Nah. Set. Udah beres. Oh, oh. Ada 4 stack ya? Oke. Situ, masuk. Ini belok kanan. Masuk kotak. Oke. Ini seru juga di map-nya deh. Oke. Ini apakah ada shortcut-nya? Oh enggak. Ini kiri. Baru gue ngapalin dulu ya. Oke. Set. Anjing. Anjir. Wah, ini harus kencang banget. 3000 speednya. Oke. Puter. Set. Finishnya di. Belum finish. Oh, udah finish. Oke, sip. Berangkat. Ye. Aduh, goblok. Terlalu bawah ya. Dia main jam berapa, Ben? Player. Gua kalau puter-puteran tolol dah. Susah kan, anjing lah, beginner tai anjing. Harus ke kanan ternyata. Udah mau mulai lagi, friend. Pepek. Biar kelihatan agennya dikit. Udah kelihatan juga babi. Ya udah tau lah ya, agen fraktur bah. Udah pada hafal lah lu pada mah. Hap, gak gitu dong. Aduh, DBangkongS salah. Goblok. Udah, babi.
if your alter ego, why would you change from a composition that you were being able to kind of, you know, tackle against Paper Rex, even if it did take you a little bit of OT to get that victory? But right in the high of map number 1, momentum abounding here.
Udah, sentinelnya gitu
be
aja.
able to carry them over because yeah, it is their map pick here. They want to close this series down.
Dan lupa like adik-adik yang berjoin.
You know, it's something that you have to also remember.
Of course. 2-0 for Alter Ego. Quite a statement to take over Made in Thailand. I think we're relatively split across the board on who was going to be taking this one through, just knowing how much potential both of these rosters do have. And now it is going to be quick in towards main. It does look like
tolonglah suara in-game. Nah, kan enak. Woi! 7 darah loh.
There, everyone was stunned up, but now it's Axlovia. Can he hold this line? There's one, there's
nice
two,
dua.
but not quite a third. Beta gets
Nice
the response.
Axel.
Now it's a 3-on-3, but look how quickly they're
Cakep.
here. Komodo, Adrian King already
Nice.
finding something. Kush Kadoom.
Posisi
back and
terpakai.
forth, but it's Kush.
Kayu
He closes it. It was
kematian.
the man whose name we kept on mentioning with the 2K. To close out the opener here for Alter Ego.
Quick one for Myth, quick opening for Kadoom, but shut down. You know,
Naik
not too
pesawat
far
wajib
ahead
booster
of
gak?
his
Nggak tahu.
teammates as
Gue
well,
bukan
but these frenzies can
penerbangan.
sometimes get a lot of damage out
Coba
quick,
cari
and it's there
infonya
for
ke
the opener, it's there
maskapai.
for the closure. Kush, as you mentioned, the 2 kills in the round of the closing one as
Gue
well.
belum bepergian soalnya,
Back
Prem.
over to the side of AE. And they're going to be purchasing up into the Spectres and a Bulldog as well for Kush. Get that distance out with the rifle. But yeah, I mean, no plan for Myth. They don't want to be over-investing themselves in towards this one. Need to make sure they at least do get on the right foot when they do have their rifles back in towards their possession in that 3rd round, in that bonus. But I am kind of going to be, you know, wondering, are we going to have any orb farmers in this series? It's something that I always like to see. It's something, you know, that RDW.
Yes, correct.
To do.
Hey, your bias is showing again, my friend.
It's leaking out a little bit.
Fake Australian fan, as the desk would say. But no, look, it's just been such a treat to watch so much good Valorant from all across APAC.
Gus, jangan overheat, Gus.
Relatively stock standard round here, you know, just dancing around arcade,
nice.
putting the pennies into the slot
DBang dulu lah. Berangkat.
Close. Only Kush to go down. 2-0.
Bantai nih orang.
Start nicely, exactly how you want to find it. The bonus
Terima kasih
will look relatively strong. Only just Kush, maybe throwing something in, a little bit extra. Okay, they're just going to juggle it around. And that's absolutely fine. 8 bullets in the Headhunter.
This is the round.
17 detik.
I kind of need to see Myth get off in the get-go. You know, we saw a big comeback from them in map number 1, but if they're able to take a lead here or keep it hotly contested, might be able to close it out and get it in toward the next one of Bind, the full rifles for them. You know, nothing really too hard to write home about in that previous round. And I do expect Myth to slow it down for the beginnings right now. 0 point out.
Leleh naon lah.
Over at the bridge for a potential dish push. You'll have to contest with Axlovia over towards drop at the moment. Meanwhile, AE going to be pushing themselves in toward the A holes to see if they can get some information for themselves as well. Currently, that smoke over there does fade. Ban towards dish.
There's that orb gathered by the old man in Conga Red, slowly edging in towards that Rolling Thunder. But it's a very, very slow approach. As you mentioned, dish control is established, still a little while away from Wanaflight, who's just trying to hope to find a flank, get that information as best as he can. They are waiting. Still, there it is. Fast lane straight out. Axlovia.
Hey,
unfortunately not quite connecting as quickly as he can. Del B's just going to completely get out of there. And it looks like it's going to be the old classic 5.
Ini galau nih, MN-nya kan diamanin ya.
There's the flank.
Nice.
Being punished. Oh, wow, Axlovia also getting
Berangkat.
3 on 5.
Yeah, this bonus is looking a little bit awkward now for Myth. They've got the plant down. They've got Conga Red up in a drop. He does have the aftershock to deny the plant as well. A big shot out from Pills, but an immediate trade from Noxy. And Beta has to be the one to go hand with Conga Red. That's exactly what is happening. 2 apiece for them.
Nice bonus, nice bonus.
What a crossfire from up in drop and then inside main. Excellent stuff, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing from Made in Thailand. Right, moving into
udah toxic tonton. Goblok. Maaf.
It's a scary one, you know, like ultimately if you do see this go to a 3rd map, that's like a Clash of Titans game that we get to see. It was something very similar to, I believe, yesterday when it was kind of one of those maps where, okay, it's going to be a 2-0 very quickly, but then it ends up going to overtime before a real big duel back and forth. And yeah, look how close now we do see a bunch of these members on Made in Thailand close to their ultimates.
Yeah, you got Beta close to the orbital strike. You've also got Conga Red to the Rolling Thunder. But if they're dead, they're not going to be able to use these ultimates here because it's a fast round from AE already with haste. Smith
Lu si gila
starting to
Delby
get
ya.
a little bit of a comeback here, but these shots
Masih
over at
megang
the
high
bridge,
gear.
looking to pull those struts
Wih,
down from under their
Adrian sih
feet.
gerakannya ngeri ya, loncat-loncat eagle-nya.
Three position
Refleksnya
known.
itu loh.
And it's these situations where, what do we always say, Mitch? You don't win a 1 versus 3, you lose a 3 versus 1.
Ya dong.
Exactly right.
Masa mati
Look
tiga-tiganya
at
gak
this.
mungkin
It's
dong
like
ya
a
kan?
conga line, all keeping their eyes firmly on the prize, which is going to be that spike. Just a little peep back from Noxy checking out the dish. So a minute left on the clock. I feel like this is just going to be a slow one. It's more of those rounds where you start to talk. It's like, what's for dinner?
Well, the fact that Myth has managed to get close toward a couple of these ultimates, keeping themselves honest with that economy, means that we'll be able to see something potentially in that next round for them as well. If Wannafly is able to get one or two here, maybe it makes it very interesting. There is that first one. The other member was low, but Drinking's going to be there to close that one down. And AE, we're not going to see an equalization just yet. They will hold on toward this lead for now, but this round really, you know, for Myth, the economy does let them go in for a little bit of a purchase. If you see Wannafly gather 2 orbs, because it's very plausible on a map like Fracture. It's not like most maps where you can just go and get your 1 safe orb. You can get 2 here, potential goal for around a bit of a jog. So you could get that 2 at a force, and we could have something of a comparable buy.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. Utilize those ultimates as best as they can. Maybe toss around a Vandal between the couple of members who can afford. The rest of it, you know, just makes it enough utility to fight the good fight. But it's going to be a timeout. Very early on called. Good opportunity to do it. You know, after having that real battle back, 6 rounds consecutive to take it to overtime in the previous, they can show that they've got stability. So
badan gua ini yang panas anjir.
It would be a bold move for them.
Jidat mulai panas ya Allah, semoga sampai subuh nanti diberikan kesehatan, amin.
One weapon you can get there to assist as well. He doesn't have the money to be able to purchase over to one of the teammates, but as I mentioned, if Wannafly gets the 2 at a force, it is like a Whitlam Samper purchase to get out here, but it potentially could work. It'll be able to play with the economy of AE, and maybe they themselves are closer towards a party mix by as well.
So it is going to be potentially a bit of a
boots over towards B right now.
Dropping some utility down, making sure that there is the flank covered. As we will see it be dropped over by Wannafly. So they've kept their cash honest. It's just that Guardian, so it's just going to be an all-out brawl towards this tree area. And they're going very, very quickly. Thunder's going to be sent out as well. He actually does catch Kadum in the process. They've left this completely open. Now it's just going to be on to see if the push straight through. Kadum gets one, drops straight down, but that relay ball might have gone all the way out. But Kadum, he's done more. He's at 3.
Kus, oh my god, Kus, what are you doing, Kus? Wow!
4K for Kadum.
Ace!
And that is absolute insanity, Komodo.
He's just
lari nih orang.
Those fingers almost magnetized over towards AE.
Arket Kadum kan, langsung lari si Kadum, lihat tuh. Lihat larinya ke dis anjing. Lihat tuh.
Up the ace, he's still got a little bit of charge, but he's nowhere near the fight right now. Congaret closed that one, and it is Thrifty to come through for Myth.
Kadum will go
live lagi rewel. Udah tungguin.
Stages of the previous map
Gue kayak udah tiap hari udah ngomong.
Really sort of electrifying in the last kind of overtime, really. I felt like it was all the way until there before he really did start. But how he managed to actually find the space in the isolation, a little bit of a throw-off for Alter Ego there, right? The pinch should have been straight away, but to be able to pick up 4 off the back of this overdrive, you absolutely love to see it. Neon played to perfection, and exactly why Fracture's exciting.
Just the micro play in that as well, right? Throwing out the relay bolt to disorient the first opponent and focusing, shifting over towards another one because he heard the move. Absolutely insanity out from him. And he's even continuing into
audio tolonglah.
Right, a quick one over towards the A side. No business to be dealt with AE. They are punishing them down. They are putting them into their grave. And they're looking to tie things up 3-3. Kush and Noxy. See what you can do in this round.
Just damage. Really all you can hope for in a round like this, right? Sky Smoke.
Aduh, itu crosshair di badan Noxy anjir.
And isolate that space further. Kush spotting. Once again, it's really kind of one of these rounds where mistakes need to be made by in Thailand, but Noxy does have a 6th sense here. Will he clear deep enough? That's going to be the question straight on, but no. Wannafly will find Kush. Great shot. He's making it costly for the L side in mid. Wannafly to close, though, so it's not going to be too dire. Because if we check the cash money in the bank account of Myth, I think it ain't too bad into this next. Yeah, it's looking absolutely fine, like a dime. and Alter Ego, they're going to make that investment back in.
Yeah, we got another gun round ahead of ourselves as well. And
Beat
for Alter
nanti
Ego, they've
PUBG,
held on to
ya,
these ultimates
semua
for a couple
main.
of rounds now. So definitely want to see them be able to utilize them here to gain advantage. Make sure you can recycle into a couple more for the remainder of this half. But I'm very glad, you know, we haven't seen Myth kind of roll over in this
Kim
map.
Jong.
We saw some absence from them over in the first one of Haven. And we're 6 rounds in, we're tied on up. And Myth have showed their hand with aggression over towards the A side of the map. They're doing so again. Kadoom, one more with the opener, 2 headshots, looking to continue on. Got some heals from his old mate in Alone Fills, and he is just... What is he even doing right now, Conky? He's smurfing on them.
Someone collect
hampir muncrat gua anjing.
because he is absolutely popping off in the server right now. Already straight in that control, straight towards the door, and he might be looking for a little bit too much. Kush will punish, and Kush is a man that is a punishing player. This time, obviously, on the KO fragment goes to the wrong spot, but the orbital
Ayo lu
strike
mati lu kong ngaret,
right.
mampus.
Kush will get another, but unfortunately, it's all left onto him. 1 versus 3, and these members are so far.
Wah,
It's
ente.
just going to be too hard to pick through. Alone feels consistent, closes.
Ngapkim
and
kita
shut it
lagi
down, but
ngapkim
once again,
anjay.
Kadoom, he has created all the space, 12 and 6.
Ngeong. Ya jatuh.
Julius needs you to do.
Yeah, he's woke up. He was a little bit sleepy in the first map, and now he is absolutely here. He has arrived, taking charge, and really holding W. You know, I mentioned smurfing. He's surfing around the map with this Neon right now. Force that economy into the bin for AE. They have to go in towards the eco right now. And look to change things up. The orbital strike in that previous round, exercise 2, really going to be yielding 1 frag. If it wasn't a trade to come out from Conga Red, then potentially AE
Ada di game CSGO ya, CSGO lah teki-teki.
And at least this time, you know, we've got a shutdown of a player using the overdrive, but yeah.
Prit ya, udah jangan dah.
How he uses it. They'll be
Kalau Prit mah jangan.
Yeah, not for this one. It's really only a hope for
Buset,
damage at this
di
point in
tibek nih,
time.
tembakin.
Fortunately, not really a whole much has been done. Again, Kadoom taken low. Same with Beta, but
Lagi bau nih.
Noxy can really just hope for maybe a frag or 2. They are still setting their sights towards this A locale, but I
Noxy
think
dapat
Noxy's
nih.
going to have to bite off a little bit too much.
Oke, nge-weave Noxy, nge-weave
If anyone can
nge-weave.
just remember the Foon, too much for Z-Block music coming out right now, going all the way back.
Di tibek, adik-adik.
something about Chambers, something about Headhunters. Sometimes
Neon
they do
Diff,
go alright.
Lemao,
We deal
Neon
with it, we
Diff.
live and we learn. Myth to extend out their lead here.
Lempao.
As we do get
Movement
a little
deep.
bit of a
Anjay.
simmer down to come through as well. Noxy going to be getting out the operator,
Noxy
so I do
tibek,
feel
Kang
like
tibek
that's
ya.
going to be their
Bang,
attempted
lagi
answer
time out,
to
main
shut
dulu kita.
down a bit of pace from Myth here. Get quickly on towards Prime Line, be able to find that first opener, maybe force Myth into a bit of a tricky state. But then again, you know, with these ultimates being built up, you do have that resurrection for Alone Fills. You can get your buddy back up. You can really look to keep on running on through in towards this map. And, you know, Myth hasn't had any shutdown of
Aduh,
this
gua lupa
aggression that
spasi,
they've been
anjir.
going in with, right? Why change it if it's still working?
Tinggal loncat.
We've seen Kremmer and obviously Pavlos' stat book. I don't think anything in accounts for this one so far that what we're seeing. An exciting start from Myth, 5-3, forcing Alter Ego into the timeout so far. It's just always a crazy thing to witness, right? You know, teams dueling, taking each other's map picks back and forth, and to have Haven go the way it did, ending 16-14 with such a crazy comeback. We're starting to see some really good signs
Sangat
of
RP
life
sekali
from
ya
Myth.
mereka
They're playing the
bertiga.
attacker side right
RP banget kah?
correctly.
Gue belum lihat.
And with this pace
Ntar kita lihat
behind
dah.
them, you know, imagine if they're able to drive that over the defense. Seeing Kadoom, you know, look to take some further control of Arcade or Dish on that defense. The world's their oyster right now. But look, you can never count out Alter Ego, and you've always got to make sure you're one step ahead.
Wih, protokol gua nih. Ben, ha.
Bit of a slower start.
Teman
for
via
Myth
DC.
in this
Oh, itu
round.
namanya
Still the
RP
force
keluarga
box
settingan.
as well. I believe that might have been for Wannafly. So charging on through, does have the Vandal to protect himself, but the ultimate in toward the B side, a full execution. So a slow start, but a quicker pump in towards the site, and they've seen that nobody is home. There's that info for Kadoom. Does he want to go for a challenge though? He's been pretty pristine in this matchup so far, but maybe relying upon his teammates ain't a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe best to fall away in this
Aduh,
point in
dia
time.
lebihnya
Del B
keculik.
has
Wah,
been
rotate
dealt
dah dia
with
mah.
by Wannafly,
Oh,
so
enggak,
that's
deng.
a better response now. Kadoom just
Kira
sitting
bakal
up in the
rotate ke
tower.
under.
Oh! One tap nicely done, but he has to find more. Kush not too far far away. A second, not
Anjing.
quite the third. Kush will respond. Now it's this 2 versus 2 in
Oh,
alone
kan,
fields.
kader pas
He's
kan
below in
rotate
the
dia.
tunnel. The orbital strike is ready. Beta, that's going to buy them so much time as that is going to be the resurrection as
Nice.
well. But Noxy moves forward alone.
Wah,
He's
ente
gonna be
dah
the
di
star
tibek
of
ini
this
mah
round on
asli
the
Noxy.
stage. Resurrection and punishment denial. Myth takes 6 and they are starting to drag it forward.
Yeah,
Kenapa MTH ngambil attack dulu? Karena ini map attack. Jangan lupa, makasih udah subrek, jangan lupa di-like adik-adik ya. Lagi pede mampus ini si Kadu.
Kryptonite at the moment. Cut their cape down for size and you'll definitely be able to just roll over them right now. So some great shots. Lone Phil's doing what he needs to do.
Kalau di tibek gini. Kalau ada yang di tibek emot gini guys tuh. Tibek.
In familiar territory with this purchase. A scrappy buy to come through. A bulldog for Delby for sure. The Stinger's in the mix as well, but you really need to see just this balancing on this defensive side. You need to see them get something happening soon because apart from this round, there's only 2 more to go.
Ya, hening sekali.
Time to shine at this point.
Anjay, Julio Kurniawan, terima kasih udah di-join member Julio Kurniawan.
What they can. All kind of tucked up, waiting to see if anything aggressive will come through. You know, I love this approach, right?
Wah, Jul.
It's the perfect time to do it.
Oh, main kapan lagi Jul? Kemarin katanya nggak ada orang. Wah.
Alter Ego react. They know they're not going to have much to throw at them, and that's exactly right. Still full reign of this A, but they're going to walk in to this B for free.
Perpanjang, mantap.
It's polar opposites on the map again, isn't it? Alter Ego completely over towards the A site, the full investment of that stack, and for
Kabut dari Toho Hyuga, bagus, bagus.
Nothing to be revealed on any information, and
Alhamdulillah min 1 beban guys Toho.
Relinquish over from A, right? When do you look to rotate towards B where the hit is? It's now with all that utility happening.
Padahal semua yang bikin hijau ya Strat yang
where Beta wants to get that plant down.
Anjing, janganlah bangsat, masa kabur lu Jul. Masa cabut.
It's going to be a very interesting 5v5. You know, once again, all really Alter Ego can look for is damage, but you know, money is really in
Wah,
the
gue di
bank
ospek
for Myth.
lintar deh. Aduh anjing, Noxy ah.
Aggressive battle sage on top of the wall again.
Apa sih Iko sih, cuman ya Allah. At least culik deh.
Ayo,
ya.
Looks good, but it's completely clean.
Wah, makin di tibek. Aduh, Alter Ego, ayo bangkit.
Doing these last few rounds, and they came out swinging, right? There was some really good signs that we did see from Alter Ego early, but there's just not been anything.
Yeah.
They fell off.
Well, what was the statistic you made of Kaduma a little bit earlier?
Keyboard sama mouse yang enak buat game apa bang?
5-2.
Banyak sih. Ini gue lagi pakai pulsar. Keyboard custom pakai Keychron Q1. Tanda seru gear aja, friend. Gear gue ada tuh tanda seru gear.
15 to 7. 10 rounds, Komodo. It's a crazy sort of stat to be thinking about, and we do see it regularly. Like there's been a lot of individuals that have been stepping up in the LCQ as, you know, potentially the last Valorant event for them of the year. So the night time to do it.
That's it, isn't it? This elimination match holds a lot of weight for the next few months. That's for certain. And Alter Ego, I mean, they had so many chances to finish off map number 1. They do get there in the end, but for Myth, you know, they also in that overtime had a couple of chances to close it there, steal that map.
Jul, ntar main ini Jul, main CS, tapi yang surfing nih Jul tuh. Main surfing ini Jul buat chilling asik tuh.
Shaping themselves out for a nice little read on this round as well with the spread nature for AE. Setting themselves up for this B split.
ASMR keyboard, aduh udah cek replay aja deh.
But I do like the fact that at least AE haven't gamble stacked aside this time because we've seen that coin
flip
didn't go their way twice now. This time they're actually going to be
berarti dari tadi nonton anjing si Jul.
Like this continued approach from Myth as well, just like Cuddle Buddies sticking as a unit right before they get this offense, because now it's the pincer approach, and guess who's at the lead? It's Kadum. Wall goes down, and maybe there is just enough time. Kush, he's the punisher, he is the man that looks to deny. And is there going to be any more?
Skip gak asik kok, pantesan kalau lu masih asendan.
Gets a response back to a 4v4, but still so much work to do. Here's Adrian.
Dapetin Noxy. 1, 2, berangkat. Waduh, dapat 1 doang. Nice.
And Alter Ego have been awoken from their slumber. They are
dapetin 5 please.
The latter stages of the first half.
It's one back over when Myth gets in towards the round. You can see that finally, even though it looks like Myth have complete control of the site, they're ready to establish that plan. The Sage Wall goes up, coupled with the fact that there is a Brimstone Sky Smoke as well. But the immediate break for that from AE, the immediate way to stop the plant from going down to take
Padahal gue juga kebuka Asendan.
They can really get comfortable and play for a post with the weapons in hand. They finally get the job
At
done.
least
They're
bukan langsung
finally
ASM
back
dan
on
nggak,
towards
gua
this
kebuka
matchup
apa langsung.
with a round
Nggak
after
pernah gua tuh
6
nyentuh-nyentuh
attacker
rank-rank
side
di bawah
rounds
gitu
in
tuh.
a row from Myth. We move into the last round of our half, and it's going quick again. And that looks a little bit awkward for Noxy at the very beginning. It's a bit of neon diff once more for Kadoom, but finally Noxy.
Aduh, wallbang jadi nggak mati.
That one alone feels.
Jijik ya rank bawah kagak lah bego. Gue kalau main di rank bawah lacur sumpah. Lebih ngeri anjing di rank bawah.
You know, we're talking Noxy's name so much in the last
Mana
round.
pernah gua top rank main di rank bawah.
To have that leg shot must have been so disheartening. Back to an advantage going the way for Myth. They could potentially be looking to take an 8-4 half. Momentum again.
Sama
Fracture.
Emang aneh anjing.
Alter Ego feeling the anxiety, the pressure coming in on them right now as Myth are just all around.
Iya, kadang-kadang ada pekerja juga kan di rank bawah tuh. Tiba-tiba ketemu Dipa kan pusing pala gue. Dipa sih masih gampang sih kalau Dipa. Kerjanya kodok. Ayo Kus. Satu. Sate Kus.
A bit of a tuck in the corner from Conga Red, but this is where the hit does start to come down on toward the side. 30 seconds, and you have to look at the drop player. You have to look at Wanafly. He's going to come in a little bit late. Kush gets punished down on the side, and things are coming up. Hunky Dory for Myth to try and find the 8th on this scoreboard. A Dren King, Axlove here to try and see what they can do to get back in toward this round. It is a safe plant. The incendiary is put down onto the floor. Massive kills, looking for the 4th, and he's got them all with headshots. That is immaculate to come down from the breach of AE.
Ganteng Adrian King. Buset, itu ngedodge flashnya gila ya. Apaan tuh anjing?
Oh my word, what a way to close this half. It was all set perfectly. Kadoom absolutely.
Wah, naik harga set. Tuh. Anjing keren banget.
Haven the other day, the 4K that he's able to pick up just bopping heads around like
itu sore enak banget.
It's just happened here again from a Dren King. On the breach too.
Crazy stuff.
The King is back adik-adik ya. 75 berangkat.
This series deserve right again. Last of the day.
Ya mulai jeko-jeko lo. Ya enggak usah ngadi-ngadi lo. Hei. Goblok.
Right now once again I remind you all this could be some of these teams
4K 1 meg asli anjing.
with champs just around the corner. Obviously in Istanbul, Turkey we already
Oke, half time adik-adik kita nyerodot dulu nyerodot. Baby boy serodot gaplok. It's annoying aja dok nambru. Do you know nyeredet pate.
This region has so much to prove.
Oh, ini udah ganti map lagi anjir.
They're really stepping up, you know, made in Thailand, maybe just a slight bit in the shadow of Xerxia.
Oh, ini bisa langsung harusnya.
Man, they're putting up a seriously good case here because if they can make a statement on Fracture and we go to that next map, that's wild stuff.
Well,
Ponja, ya apaan nih pusing?
Well, for the AE fans out there, that we had a comeback in the last map from Myth, right? And now we're getting the feeling that maybe AE is the team that has to come back a little bit from behind. It's a closer affair at the half right now, with Kadoom leading the charge with those kills over on Myth. Of this action happening as well.
Ya lambat dah. Babi. Lagu Sunda apa tuh? Wah, itu tuh parodi lagu apa ya? Gue lupa.
Baby boy, but finally, that needs to be the confidence to get him back into this game.
Bottom of the scoreboard, the middle of the pack for such an impact
SD
round,
tuh
a
masih ingat
swing
sampai sekarang.
round moment here. Because sure, a half ends. The economy resets. We look to now the pistol.
Goblok.
Taking those last 2 rounds.
Ini udah jauh ya.
12 picked up by Alter Ego.
Mulai, Cok.
They need to really siphon themselves forward and kind of set that focus, reshift it. You're sure that in camp, right?
Jangan jeko-jeko, blon.
In a moment like that, especially
nggak kalau k.fc gitu nggak akan ini. Kalau titik .co gitu. Titik .co gitu pasti kedeteknya kayak .com. Jadinya di timeout sama naik bot. Itu kayak mana mainnya? Cuman ini doang, AD doang. Kalau lu surfing di kiri A pencetnya. Terus tinggal arahin pakai mouse. Jadi W itu nggak dipencet. Anjing. Si Wanafly sih batu banget ya, nggak ditembak.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what we saw.
High ID nggak akan ke timeout, yang kok doang kok.
Adrian King stepped up.
.co doang.
Now they're just going to waltz and skip and jump over towards B, and there's a bit of a different approach here. Alone Phil's just chilling. course, with that shorty up inside.
Yang mau nyawer boleh langsung ke
position.
sini. Oh, makasih naik buat supportnya ya.
Coming through. Noxy is going to be that linchpin, but as soon as they destroy that trademark here, Komodo, they're going to just be barreling in, and there's going to be one at least for Alone Fills.
1.5, Kush tag down half.
Iya, jangan .co doang lah, blow on. Belakangnya .co baru ke detect.
And here's that rotation starting to come through from Myth. It's all over towards main. A lot of smokes on the floor, but it is this Heaven control.
Nice Noxy.
Good for one on towards Kadoom. The hard hitter has been.
Dulu nih kenapa suara in-game jadi makin kecil sih? Hey, halo.
Right now of the spike, drinking good for one. The trades are coming out as well from AE. Kush is there to close it. AE pick up the pistol in the second half.
Mana Ben Gecko? Nah, kalau Kidut, nah spesial. Tuh kan ke timeout kan Dut, gue bilang juga ya. Batu.
But who cares when Kush is hitting frags like that, right? Nice little 3K. He's really been stepping up as well. This time on the KO. Such an important role to be made, but I think Tash sort of mentioned it quite well. Not only one person can do the assignment, right? Yeah. Everyone else needs to step up. You can't be handing two different parts over. So we are going to hope that we do see, especially Del B. He is the one that needs to be creating this space on that Neon.
And on the attacking side as well, we saw how influential Kadoom was to be able to contribute to the success.
Goblok mulai dah anjing giping sore-sore lu pada.
Have Del B bringing himself in towards this fight right now. It'll make it more difficult for AE to get started on this side. So at least they have secured the pistol. They've got themselves the purchase.
Janganlah error like dulu sampai 500.
A very big following the leader play from Myth as well, and Noxy, he's pulled away.
Timing. Oh my god, ketahuan enggak tuh ya?
But regardless, everybody is together, and Myth are here as well.
Arketnya rame banget ya.
Close. Nice. Okay, that would have been really funny is all I was going for there, but scrappy regardless.
Asik, tibek Noxy.
Alter Ego do keep their composure and they've kept them. Oh, Delpy's 1 HP. I've just realized that, jeez.
Kok gue nggak teh? Oh, itu di delete doang sama naik botnya.
He's okay. It's all good.
Paling kalau ke Teo juga paling 5 detik doang.
All Congrade can hope for is just a dink or something. There we go, clean round. Exactly what they need. Like,
ya mungkin yang ada rezeki lebih silakan disumbang. Ya, Sain lu yang nyumbang.
That's the thing I want to emphasize, right?
How are we here?
For all the rounds that we saw Myth get in the first half in a
Ayo
very
dong,
quick
Bang
succession, we saw
udah kejar nih 2 ya, bonus roundnya apakah akan dapat ya?
We saw them get the last 2. So in the end
Apaan
of
gua kemarin
that,
10
really the
menit tuh kan?
we got from Myth was in the middle of the
Malmeres 10 menit
second round there ties us up, and like that, AE are back in towards this game. It's very, very close. It's an even affair. All we're kind of wondering right now is where's Del B, you know, and for over at Myth, this defensive side, what does it now look like with the weaponry?
Are they going to go quick here? Looks like they've certainly got their eyes on that one. Kadoom though, straight in!
Oi! Neon Div anjing!
As well, this man has been hitting the range, you can see. I mean, again, just a bonus, right? You still got to hit those shots, Kadoom.
Oke, no bonus, gak apa-apa.
Change. Is it K for confidence?
Ya, Airman kamu kena time out, mampus lu, mampus bau lu dari kemarin.
I think it's K for King.
Where's that Ronski bottle? He's been sipping on it, alright?
Oh, that's empty. He's drank
Ini map keberapa? Map kedua.
Laser beaming out.
Itu enak banget anjir.
He's close towards the laser fingers on the back of that performance there as well. But that's what you want to see, right? For the first gun rounds to come through for Myth, you want to be able to see them secure it. Exactly right, a clean cut one.
Molly kemana tuh?
Finally, they get a purchase in for themselves, and they do want to go fast in towards B. Sure,
Molly kemana anjir itu? Oh, kecete, anjir, bagus banget. Oke, aku melihat Paper X di sini adik-adik.
10.000 dari Pom. Pesan, Ben Gegara lu gua Jet sering dengerin podcast April.
Kangen lu Pom, makasih 10.000-nya Pom. Aku melihat Paper X sedikit tadi.
Congrade, how much time will he have to buy?
Well, the
Rolling Thunder available.
The biggest thing is Rolling Thunder in this round as well. If that comes out for the side of AE on a drinking, you know, you still got 5 members alive, right? Null Command, Kush, probably not going to be able to pop that, but that is going to hit all 4 members here as well.
Ayo lu, kena lu.
Get back into water, a tap, an actual stick on toward the defuse. He just wants to get as well. Put it vertically.
Astaga!
Right now. Did Alone Fills put that vertical wall?
Dia nge-wall, bro. Pinter banget.
From the Sage.
Oh my god.
brain is kind of pulsating out of his skull right now. Alone feels.
Itu counter plan Emen ya.
What a way to close it. A 5 versus 4. The advantage so firmly held by the side of Alter Ego. They were
2000 IQ anjing.
Noxy wrapping around that dish into the position, but they just couldn't do anything. And I mean, whilst all of the members have made in Thailand,
Oke, skemanya sama nih.
they made a statement alongside with it. They went down with the ship.
Skema sama nih. Molly langsung berangkat.
So for Myth, they find themselves a 9th. It's not an equalization. Maybe we have a copy paste. Maybe we see the same thing again. But a Drenking does not have the rolling thunder. Kush has a null command, not using a throw. The push through the sky.
Oke, nah. Mati lu sama Kongaret.
Is not your enemy, but you know who is.
No, nice Axel.
To get one frag or two, but regardless, things will
Oke.
have to settle down.
Alone Fieldsnya nggak punya wall.
Again, a bit ambitious from Kadum.
Mati nih orang.
Now it's all on to Alone Fields 3. Segregated Jules. Can he navigate this one? He spotted out where the planter was. Noxy on top of the site for the
Sip.
swing, and he's able to
Mantap.
get the one tap.
Little bit anticlimactic.
Tadi mau dikerop. Oh iya.
Oke.
Gue tadi sampai gak sadar. Gue kira CT lagi.
They weren't focused on him. Could have potentially made up for it, but unfortunately it does slip away and doesn't quite happen here. So Alter Ego getting it done, because not only have they won the round, Komodo, they've basically already found 9 unless we see something spicy.
Pasti tadi mereka ngiranya tuh nge-wall sini nih, nge-wall Emen. Ternyata dia wallnya di sini anjir di side.
In the food, but in the Valorant as well.
Gokil nih Metis. Sekarang harusnya main pelan nih.
Because a lot of heat is what electricity does provide, and you know who has an ultimate in possession right now? It's Kadum. We've already seen what he's able to do with the overdrive. When will they look to pop it? If they look to pop it, because we can see a world in which an entry is found with him, with the rolling thunder from Conga Red as well. It's a lot that could happen.
We've now seen this approach twice. What do? Sit in spawn
aman,
and wait. No, all the times I've been commentating a game of this nature, it's just such a different way of doing it. But it's exactly right, you know, the way that Fracture pushes and pulls you, encourages you to try and take that
tadi malam
space
beres streaming main apa coba? Main Dota Auto Chess, guys.
Have done it to perfection, you know, they know
Dota
that it's
Auto
going to be a
Chess.
weaker buy, and obviously like Alone feels right, he's going to be sitting there with the shorty. We've got
Kangen
a couple of
banget gue main
buckies as
Dota.
well, just the one, sorry for Wannafly, but also with the Headhunter, few bullets in the chain.
Wah, Baki. Oi.
First, and now Alone feels if he peeks out at the right time. Oh, the null
hilang deh. Listriknya hilang deh.
Kadum's classic is a little bit stronger, and this is falling apart. This is crumbling. Conga Red with 2, and he might be the saving grace in this round for
Not
Myth.
like
Now
this,
it's just
bro.
down to Noxy. Alone feels a tap on toward the resurrection. There's that Bucky in the shots. He's bringing him in. He's reeling him in.
Oh my god,
That's a 50 to come through from
3.
Myth.
That was definitely Blair's Mega Death Sauce or something along the lines. The spice was high, the Scovilles were pumping, and Myth, they can handle their heat as they take 10 rounds here. Excellent stuff to come through. A perfect opportunity now to deny Alter Ego's potential momentum
Untung kentutnya
and
nggak keluar
stop the
tai.
snowball. That's what the heat does, baby, right? It melts the snow.
Masa map 3 adik-adik.
Another gun round to come through. You were thinking about the potential reset, you know, on that round, on that half buy. It should be an issue in for the 9th for Alter Ego.
Jangan-jangan OT lagi sampai 20 nih.
Words there. And a new, fresh round presented. A bit of pace for Noxy in towards A main. And that much information is going to be sending Beta back, but he's standing for the frag, and he's going to be losing it right now. An opening advantage for AE unanswered. And I don't think Alone Fills is going to be able to get the resurrection just yet.
Listrik sebelah habis berapa? 500 sampai 600-an.
Encapsulate around this A site.
It's a hard spot to get as well.
Udah yang mahal kalau gue sih listrik. Yang mahal internet. Soalnya internet, listrik gue masih tagihan. Belum token. Dia punya resurrect.
And Wannafly, he's pretty good at Valorant, right? So bring him back into the server to give it a crack. Walking straight
20 terus map 3, buset dah. Janganlah 2-0 aja dah. Cari aman.
Now up to the rope. Have a bit of a spot around. All 3 members are on this side. Komodo only one sitting back, and there is one underneath hiding as well. Flashpoint will come out now. A peek. Will Adrian King overstep? That Sky Smoke is going to fade in just a second, but now the pace picks up there. Close Komodo. Del B just underneath. Will it spot? Will it show?
Nice.
No. Adrian King will close.
Cakep.
Del B. Nicely done from
AC nyala terus enggak? Gua AC nyala kalau komputer nyala doang.
Get the opening kill. They make it very fast.
Komputer mati, AC mati.
That wall that they could potentially block off the A main position with as well.
Kamu udah mulai rusak, mampus.
The round is over towards Alter Ego. And they have a little bit of sigh of relief, right? A couple rounds not going their way that they probably should have been closing. And it brings it now within one, but you have to battle against the force that is Myth. The weaponry is all going to be there. A couple of these ultimates.
Komputer nyala terus
already
kagak lah.
waiting. Let's try and
Nggak main mah
equalize
gua
10
matiin.
to 10.
What do we got here? Couple of ultimates and Beta also getting pretty keen. Kadoom is going to be forced away. Delby this time out. Are they going to be ready for a Beta? No, the only one with a Vandal here, Komodo. He's already
nice
down.
dodge.
And now that fast lane goes through. But Kadoom, is he ready? One, but there's no bullets in that Stinger. Only enough for just the kill onto Cook.
Lah, kocak!
Has a response and so
Depan
does
kamu.
Alonefields. So does Alonefields. He's
Halo?
got a couple just for his troubles now, Delby. He's been quiet all game.
Alter
He's been hiding
ego.
in the ropes, but he's going to be one.
Kaget
What?
Delby-nya.
Butterfly will close and made in Thailand a one step
PSU
closer to
gua
an
berapa watt ya?
absolute battle royale.
6,5 apa 800 gua lupa. 6,5 deh
They
kayaknya.
make it work. The Stinger of Kadoom able to get that first frag, draw some rotations, draw attention away from Wannafly.
Hari-hari
Was able to close it with
kepripi.
the ultimate as well, but it's Alonefields, right?
Kayak gua
Doubling down in that
1.300
door
doang.
position, really making it difficult for AE to
Makanya
get
masih
a sense,
tagihan.
to get a grasp on that round. And now we're looking at this purchase. If this force doesn't go their way, AE are going to be playing with, you know, a couple of scraps in toward the next round. They're holding enough money though to still get something.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our observers, by the way. How cool was that line? It was like, you know, a cool guy walking away from an explosion or something. That little
Apaan
gap
anjir?
between the fast lane there. Beautiful
TV
stuff
Samsung
from the team.
rupiah 1.000.
But once again, it's this turtle approach from Alter Ego. They will be waiting. Sky Smoke down. And just once more, Kadoom keeping his
Keras 11
focus
nih.
over towards
Bisa deh.
main Del B. Will he start to put the accelerator down? Just to play around, have a bit of a spot. There is 3 members here for Myth to defend if they do choose to do so, but they're actually going to rotate around and head over back towards B.
That's where a bit of a trap is, isn't it? Over in the tower, Alonefields and Wannafly, the rendezvous position to get out as well if need be. And this is the hit, a little bit of slow action coming toward Del B, but no spotting out onto their opponents. The 0 point did catch where Alonefields is. Is he going to go for a bit of a challenge in the incendiary? He's going to tempt fate here and go for the fight.
Anjing, 2 darah lo, gila banget.
You have got to be absolutely
Oh,
joking
shit.
me. This is looking like a round that potentially shouldn't be going this way, but it absolutely is. Noxy in the 1 versus 5.
Wah, tidak ada aktor adik-adik. Aduh, apakah map 3 nih?
They've found the map point here.
OT-in lah, Alter. Ayo, OT-in.
Not series point. Because we'll have another map after
Bisa
this
kamu
one, which of
balikin.
course is going to be bind. If it does get collected here
Laptop
by
Riser
Made in
level
Thailand,
RTX
they've certainly
350 RAM
made
16 GB
a
kuat,
great
follow
case. They
stream
must
nggak
have a
kuat.
good
Nah,
boy
follow
out
mah kan
because it's
ringan.
looking hot here. But Alter Ego. Take
Wah,
the
time out dulu.
Maybe another pause, maybe another discussion.
Kalau sudah time out kita main dulu. Wah, udah ganti map lagi anjir.
On their attacker's side, Made in Thailand was really stepping up, and I can't criticize Del B here
Apa-apaan
either,
anjir.
right? Because he has been first, he has been creating that space. But Axe Lovia, such a player that we're so used to seeing put up big numbers in a map
Apaan
like
itu?
this, and he just haven't. The Chad Brimstone has not been there for the
Yeah.
side
What
of
the
Alter
fuck?
Ego.
You got to
Kejedot,
think about
gua
it as
kejedot.
well. Map number 1 going in towards overtime.
ke atas,
Map
anjing,
number
pusing
2,
amat nih, map.
very closely contested, lots of times here and there. Series, you know, the deserving third map that will be bind should shape up if we do get it to be quite a fun one, of course. But this one isn't over just yet. 3 rounds in a row for AE is what they do have to find. And maybe if you are Noxy, if you are Kush, you know, you're trying to figure out how to get your boys back in towards this server. You got to figure out how you're going to navigate yourselves around these 3 rounds, because you see what Myth has been doing, right? Even with the scrappy purchase, they're getting away with a little bit of cheesy action. They're finding these shorty kills. They're finding these Bucky frags as well. And they're just making it work with what they have
Iko
been
ya,
delivered.
Alter Ego ya.
And
Iya
right
nggak
now,
sih?
when they've got the better guns, it's looking even
Force bayar sih nih.
They're playing
Force.
exactly how Fracture requires them to, with confidence and playing it
Bukan
concise.
25 shield, 25
Now it's
shield.
going to be that strangle. Look at this. Alonefields the only one by himself, but Myth, 4 members are here, Komodo. It is going to be an absolute brawl in just a few moments right now. Noxy, he's not too far away from a peak here, but look at this position from Beta as well. There it is, the Rolling Thunder. It is going to quite catch Del B. He's
Gantiin
straight
Leon,
to the
ntar juga
side.
dijawab sama
Now
naik bot tuh.
He's here, he's moving.
Tiga.
Congared, Wannafly.
Aduh.
Wannafly up top. They need to
Aduh,
punish
map
it quickly
3 ini mah
if they want a
adik-adik.
chance in this one, unless they're going to bind right now. Damage has been dealt, but he is still alive. A man of stone, the wall of Date University right now, as he will collect 3 and a closeout made in Thailand. They're taking it to bind.
An absolute shutdown
Wah,
on the
di-bind lagi
A
nih.
site to close it out in at the end. A quick little heal as well to try and keep him alive at the top of the site. But it is Wannafly. The wings have been...
Aduh.
Weird with the sun.
Oh iya, ada angkot tuh. Aduh.
Follow the police. Alright, thank
My bad luck is...
Aduh. Map 3 bro. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kita main dulu. Nunggu map 3. Di Ciputat, iya, Ciputat. Yang kejedot. Nice. Kemana nih? Oke. Why do I baby, why do I? Anjing nggak nyampe. Tai. Teteretetet. Dia nunggu ya kan. Wah. Ya lupa. Anjing lah. One v one gue masih jago nggak ya? Aduh di-ban sih MTH ngeri ya. Di map sendiri nge-throw. Udah nge-throw sih emang kuat aja MTH-nya, cok. Itu si Kadum udah lihat dah. Why do I baby, why do I? Mungkin kagak ada yang chat, cok. Pada diem semua. Ntar mobil sentinel enggak? Iya. Nah counter Sage ya, soalnya dilambat-lambatin tuh Neon kan, dilambatin Sage udah nggak bisa apa-apa, cok. Ya Kidut timeout lagi ya. 1, 2. Download map lama juga nih, anjing. Anjing, ih kasar banget, ngentot. Dong. Apa bener? Ada yang bisa klaim PayPal gak? $5. Apa tuh? Guns. Pistol di goblok. Eagle. Pistol Ron, AWP Ron. Mana lawan gue, cok? Goblok, kaget banget gue. Aduh, ada coknya nih. Mampus lu. Bang Srot debut di tim mana? Sentinel. Anjir. Ada coknya anjir. Anjay kaki. Buat akun yang udah 8 tahunan, oh gitu. Entot. Anjing, rating gua jadi kalah. Oke. Di mana nih anjing? Musuhnya di mana? Ke atasan mulu gua. Mampus loh. Enaknya di CS tuh bisa lurus nih. Tuh. Wah, kontol. Jadi MVP-nya siapa ya? Kadum, gila. Kalau nggak pusing susah ya. Mana? Gak bisa popin swing di sini Diki, bodoh. Anjing gara-gara rating gua 1400 silver 1 lihat tuh. Oh, di sini tuh patternnya udah pasti gitu. Oh. Gue pengen bikin crosshair ini di Valorant susah dah. Yang mirip-mirip gini. Mana nih orang? Di silver. Di servernya silver. Harus naikin dulu nih rating. Storon lah anjing. Goblok. Apa nih? Oh, bisa. Nomad. Survival. Asik. Itu dia. Asik. Dilempar. Paracord knife. Paracord lagi. Skeleton knife. Oh, ini skeleton. Emang bisa ganti skin. Iya, kadang-kadang ada harus VIP gitu kan. VIP baru bisa ganti skin gitu biasanya. Gak main sama silver. Wah, gue mah di CSGO pengen silver. Gue tahu kalau sapi ruby gitu bisa mah. Cuma kan kadang-kadang di setiap server beda. S. Oh, WS gue lupa. Napahak knife. Karena seru WS. One Dick. Kabur dia anjing. Anjing. WS. Nah. AK-47 skin. Asimov anjay. Ih, culun banget pakai USB. Asimov. AWP Neonoir. Gue suka. Mundur iya. Anjir, 55 in 3 hit babi. Mapnya sempit gak enak anjir. Map amphibian begini. Astagfirullahaladzim, ada cok. Oke, mulai adik-adik dikit lagi. Ini yang Indonesia gua doang ya? Mr. Eagle. Please. Kampus. Enggak keganti skin gue ya? Lah kok golden koi? Mulai. Mulai.
Pace has had some form behind them.
Let's go.
It all comes down to the pistol, and I think we are going to be seeing something pretty nutty here. I love that there's 3 frenzies.
Bayonet gue paling suka M9 bayonet.
I don't like the frenzies coming here, but hey, if it works for the boys in the server, the lads in the game, sure, why not, right? Just abuse it.
M9 Falcon sama Karambit.
Nah, look, sometimes it can be a double-edged sword. I like the slow pace though from both of these squads here. Wanna-Fly already being that toxic screen over at the B side.
Prediksinya insya Allah adik-adik ya.
As well to assist with him, and you know, Showers
contention is going to be a big play
for the orb control for another avenue of approach in toward the A site. Currently do have 3 players positioned here, with Myth playing over with Kadoom on that chamber. He can rendezvous over to B if that's where the plan of action does go for AE. So a lot of windows here for really both sides to play with now.
But again, it's that turtle approach, having a bit of a spot over maybe a poke of the end into Showers, who's there. And now they are going to wrap their way through spawn in towards B long.
Aman nih, Sersia udah lolos. Iya, ini MITH nih.
But will anything
harus dipulangin juga nih.
Thailand Red is spotting the line. We've got the positional advantage inside Hookah. But there's that guiding light. No info at all in the corner. Kadoom. He's punished though. Noxy, great pick. But they still have to overwhelm this Viper inside Hookah.
Gara-gara ke-distract to Noxy.
For just a second. There is a response though, nice and quickly. How's the pace going to be set here as the 4v2 does settle?
Ya, Adrian aman.
Beta does have an incendiary.
Could
be used quite nicely.
Wah, Baby Dragon bahaya nih, Baby Dragon.
On through. It actually expires just in the nick of time for him to peek here. He does have those satchels as well, but he's going to go for the fight nice and early. 3 players here at the TP. Can't quite get the first one. And now it's Beta.
Menang. Kalau Meta menang ya kebantai sama Onyx aman.
Drop him down on towards the spike. A tap and attempt to stick. And immediately the pistol is once more.
Ayo please jangan ada gerakan-gerakan aneh lagi ya.
That's probably a good stat to actually look and bring up because you know the pressure is always there. We've seen a couple of in this competition where pistols have been won and then the counter by the classic, right?
Haven, both pistols to Myth. Fracture. both pistols to alter ego.
Okay, there you go. And to have a loss on Fracture.
So maybe with pistols, you lose the map.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense, right? For all you expiring Valorant players out there, just lose the pistol.
Well, it's going to be that force-up, of course, for AE. Not really a force-up, a buy coming in toward this one, but maybe a bit of an overextension, one could argue, for Kush there on the Guardian.
Beli TS siapa menang beli 2-0. TS
A
terebol-ebol.
lot of shorties actually in the mix here. A lot of tight angles that those can be positioned.
Noxy!
Showers and U-Hole.
Nice.
A peek down long though for Kadoom. He is the first casualty once more. 2 rounds in a row, I do believe, with that rendezvous in the last round over.
Like-nya belum 500 adik-adik ya. Wah, kecewa nih sama bocil PISITI.
And Gongi, we have seen Myth predominantly get a lot of these scrappy buy wins more so than AE. So even though it is the second round, you still kind of got to be a little bit careful.
I was going to say, if they didn't use the Trailblazer to clear there was always a chance. But irrespective, I want Alter Ego to get some momentum here. They desperately
Adrian
need
ya.
it. They need to
Lakus.
No, Conqueror. Just as I'm praising. Nah. This is exactly what we were talking about. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give it to you guys.
Sudah percaya Adrian, tapi Adriannya gagal adik-adik.
Wannafly was in U-Hole. He's heard Delby run past him, but he had to cop a bit of silence. There was a millisecond. If he peeked out, he potentially could have been able to find it, but he had to cop a reload into the shorty. And now the TP has been hurt as well. Noxy, if he loses this duel, he would be leaving Delby on an island. And look at the weaponry that Myth has stolen.
Fear has been instilled. They've already run their way back towards the elbow, so clearly they're cautious, right? It is a Guardian, it is a Spectre. It's enough to get the job done. No shield except Del B. He's the only one that's healthy inside this round, but they do have to get their way out of Hookah. It's going to be tough. Congored, great rotation into the garden position now. Snakebites clearing the angles. It's still going to be tough, though. Again, both the sets, both the focuses set. Great shot there from Noxy, and now it should be the close, unless we see something impeccable. No, and I'm glad we don't, because that's a great round from Alter Ego. Now, look, as much as I love those kind of rounds, it's like, just for the storyline, just to think how hard Alter Ego have been working to be denied this round, that's not what you want to see. You do not want to see this team going down and just kind of rolling over and dying, right? You want to see them give it their absolute all. A team with some badges on them, right?
Yeah, I guess in terms of damage in that round, you're pretty happy if you are Myth, right? You remove 3 weapons, you make your bonus a little bit better coming into this new one. AE don't really have too much to play with, really only that Guardian and the Spectre. So we'll see what they're going to be able to find here. Maybe they get a little bit closer to a couple of their ultimates to make it better when they do have the guns. They can use them for a bit of assist towards gaining a couple of rounds, but this is going to be the good test for Myth to make sure that they don't have happen to them what they just did towards AE. When you've got those lesser weaponry against the better weaponry, you've got to hold it on, and it is a change of up, right? Myth
terus anjing
ben over towards A in this round with all that Viper utility, and moving Beta over towards B.
Just a tricky spot. Noxy is going to give the position away, as Adrian King does start to clear out the showers, so they do know no one's home. This is orb farming territory. Spike's still a little while away. 55 seconds left on the clock. I do like Myth's approach right now, just keeping Alone Feels up in heaven, having a watch, Wannafly bouncing on his trampoline over towards the showers. That Snakebite will go down shortly. Haunt available to be sent up and out, but that again, Snakebite will keep them there for a while.
Di-delay terus, nice, Oxy, nice.
He's picked up one in the process now, Komodo, and now this is where the pace gets set.
Not only was all the Viper used,
loncat dia lebih, berangkat.
Smokes go down to buy a little bit more time, and with that spray starting to come on through, the wall is down. Wannafly is able to deny the spike, going through the TP, picked on through, push for the trade, everything happening in the kill feed, 20 seconds to try and get the plant.
Adrian
does have it to go in the open spaces of B, but only with the Sheriff in a 1 versus 2, he has an isolated
with the clutch, Adrian, 1 tap.
If Beta overextends, here is the fight, the frag, the first, maybe the second.
Ente Adrian, gak dapat bonus.
It doesn't come into fruition. I talk conky about the damage in this bonus.
Mahal.
It is there.
It is definitely there, and look, I've got to admit, there was almost a world where Adrian King won that right. He just needed maybe 1 more second to set into a post plan, but he did the right thing. He had to try and find the jewel. He missed that opening shot. If it may be connected, there could have been the second one. You always love those moments, but I've got to admit, exactly as you said, right, damage has been dealt. Myth get the round, but at what cost?
At what cost? That is the one. Apparently money. Cold, hard cash coming into this next round for them, because we've got a judge for Wannafly.
Enak lu Pajar.
Toward the showers. And for Beta, he's going to also be picking up. We've got 3 judges actually on the defensive side for Myth
Enak
right
kan
now.
kata emot
It's very
naik bot lu,
unorthodox
Jeko
to be able to witness this
mati.
in towards bind, but yeah, maybe it opens up a good little place for maybe a round. Immediate guiding light is going to be forcing Alone Fills back for the time being.
Lagi good mood. Enggak, lagi panas.
Alter Ego want to overstay anything as
Saya
well.
cobain.
Falling back, making sure there's no setup plays early on from Myth. As a bit of creeping up for Noxy over towards C-Long. He's going to be spotted out. It's actually going to be taken down.
Jeko apaan itu?
So many of those
Kedeteknya
tight lines
link
we've
bloon. Itu makanya baca naik botnya
this
stop posting
competition.
link katanya.
Just getting those angles, the early advantage, catching off the opposing team. Rotation through. I think they've actually managed to sort of reposition accordingly. Forward thinking down from this
Yakin
raise
tim
as
Indo
well.
bakal ke champion. Coba lihat replay gua 3 hari lalu.
I don't like this, Conky. I really don't like this. A judge in toward a poison cloud. At least you're going to see
Mampus.
this over, and Axelov, you're getting the read on towards the Lone Fields, but Kadoom is still here. The paint shells get the explosion. The plant is looking to be established.
Aduh, di Judge Gaming kematian anjir.
No plant just yet, and that's a 2 versus 4. The TP.
Timingnya.
He had an eye on
Ya Allah.
He couldn't quite find him, but the plant has to go down to B. They're slowing down. It's giving a lot of time for this rotation. Beta, he doesn't need to peek just yet. He will be. He's gonna keep Kush entertained here at this duel. He has to disconnect himself. He has to assist Axelovia.
3 coming in from the defender's side at Spawn now as they do try to wrap their way out. Trailblazer gets nothing, and we do see Axelovia straight into the elbow. It's going to be big pressure, I think, on Kush here on that line. That cross could one, and now he knows there is one on the flank, but he does reposition. Actually going into the garden. Prowler out to clear. Great time in the middle of this round, but he goes back into Hookah. Can he find more? But no. It's Axelovia who does it. It's all left onto Kush though. Again, the man who we see in these positions. But as much as we try and write the script, sometimes the script is rubbed away from us.
It's
hard in that situation. Just that little 1 versus 2 in the end there for Kush. You'll always understand the idea of trying to get out the C's, right? Remove their HP, get that decay on down, make it easier for yourself. But paper thin walls in Valorant, 2 players shooting lead over towards your direction makes it pretty difficult. Early game from Beta as well does go a long way there. So a bit of a recovery to come through from Myth.
Jam berapa PISITI ini match terakhir nih, map terakhir.
That bonus made that round look a little bit more awkward than it could
Nanti
have
jam
been
3 subuh ada lagi, gue pengen nonton Srot.
But they did make it work, and now
prediksi boom bleed, bisa lah boom menang.
No balancing of economy for these squads just yet. Reset territory is definitely here, and for AE, they are the ones this time playing with the awkward weapons.
Beta has been doing a fantastic job, again slotting into this roster of Made in Thailand and really making a name for himself, stepping up. Information goes out underneath though. Hookah, Beta, yeah, he's taken. Kadoom, hang on a second. Will be denied, however, in the form of Axelovia.
Okay, Adrian King. Aduh,
timingnya. Here and 3 alive still.
3 individual duels almost
Babang,
consecutively done at the exact
nanti
same
tapi paling off stream dulu. Gue sambil kayak istirahat dulu bentar gitu kan. Biar gak terlalu ngantuk.
To the last kill, done and dusted just like that.
Done and dusted.
Nanti sekitar jam 2-an, kalau setengah 3 baru di live lagi.
Up at this point in time, Congarade with the lineup of the ages to at least deny any further prevalence there. You know, if
tadi juga lagi kalah pick anjir jorok.
Down a split second earlier, but irrespective, it's just been a tough one. Look at that cheeky little boost up onto the top of the truck as well.
Makasih Pajar 10.000-nya. Ya orang lu nge-posting ya keteo lah menaik bot.
Over towards the A side. We're going to have to see what this fight can do for Wannafly right now, but the first point of play is actually going to be Alone Fills from up here on top of the truck. He's going to be able to dodge it out.
Entot ngeselin juga nih, woi. Oh, nice. Tidak jing ult ya. Tadi itu di boosting Vipernya juga dah. Oke, bisa naik.
Very lucky to be alive, but he cannot cauterize this wound right now. He will be taken down. Paint shells for Alone Fills. He can satchel himself in, or rather not satchel, showstopper, but maybe not needed as it is just down to Kush.
Wah, Kush susah banget posisinya itu.
Alone Fills for 3 of his own.
Alone Fills more like Alone Fills agent roles now on the raise, getting the job
lagi
done.
tuh.
He's absolutely fantastic. Sova, Sage, Raze, that's such a broad agent selection that we've seen him delve into.
3-course
meal. across the board, and it's been a treat to see. Compliments to the chef as Made in Thailand walk away now with 4-2 ahead of the curve. But as we know, find a little bit more of a lean over towards that defensive side, right? So as much control as we can see from Made in Thailand will allow them that space, but close. Yeah, correct. I think Alter Ego, they've been doing enough damage to at least keep them honest, right? It doesn't feel like too much is stacked up just yet. They've got time to work with.
Yeah, definitely feeling, you know,
Alah,
a bit of a repeat from these rounds that Alter Ego were getting very close to in the previous couple of maps. Right now, I love the aggression. I like the change up from Myth. They had to be forced back a couple of times in a row because AE were taking a bit of space, towards a bit more passive nature. So for Kadum to be able to find the opener, not to mention, remember, he was the one losing his life in the very first couple of rounds first, right? Too aggressive.
Tapi lebih baik Indo lawan Indo lah daripada ketemu Thailand lagi. Terus Thailand ngepulangin Indo, anjir. Lebih kesal gitu, lebih kesal.
Just still that confidence, though, from Kadum that we need to see. Right? You know, he's another player that swapped on over from that Neon. Couple of maps back to back. It was a little bit quieter on Old Haven, but then really did start to step up, and now he's doing exactly that on this chamber.
Meninggal,
Delbinya kamu udah meninggal. At the end of the day, it is just a kind of quasi-buy here from Alter Ego. Not really a whole lot that they can kind of do, you know, the risk being taken with the purchase as well. I mean, they're going to have something in the next Noxy doing good damage, but Wannafly even catches Noxy before he can rendezvous out of there. No James Bond moment for him. And Wannafly also spotting Kush. Give him the 4K, I think. It might be kind of nicely done at this point in time. Kush is down to 1 HP. He's just playing around at the moment. They are going to take him irrespective. So I suppose what we can start to think about now is yeah, again, what we really do need to see come through from Alter Ego. The players really need to start to step up. You know, again, we talk about Del B having a little bit of a quieter one in the previous, but they're definitely getting some frags. They're definitely getting some kills here, Alter Ego, but they just can't quite convert those rounds.
Well, it was the defensive side for Alter Ego that was really the strugglesome side for them against Bleed in their match. So for right now on the attackers side, you know, it might be... It's hard to kind of say, right? Because Bleed is such a different beast compared to Myth, but we definitely need to see more of an attacking-sided structure to at least have contest against Myth in this series. Kopas Pajar, delete message. Where they come back after that previous map, we got a little bit of OT in it, and the fact that their match against Team Secret was very hit and miss on both sides, right? Very contested on attack and defense. It might be difficult to bring this one back in, but for right now, those doors have opened up for Myth extremely. Alone Fills with 2 frags, one courtesy of that ultimate showstopper. It has sent AE to the other side of the map, and even though Myth aren't here, they've got a 2-player advantage.
Alone Feels, I want whatever this guy had for breakfast, looking like the Hulk, just absolutely barraging through in that position once more. Again, all the domination that this guy has been able to find. He's now joined his friend Kadum inside Heaven, but 3 members moving out of that defended side at spawn. Adrian, but now potentially caught. Be careful, because that Sky Smoke is fading.
Noxy!
The run and gun from the man himself now.
Enak, Ranen Gun Gaming ya. Nice. Nice AP-nya mati anjing.
Again, Made in Thailand.